Live. All right.
Is you
Yes, we are live, whore. Listen, we're gonna have to stop saying Kaya shit before she sue us or get our shit straight. We're gonna have to stop.
that wasn't TS shit?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who
Oh
originated
no,
it.
she
You
is
know.
the is this bitch recording. Maybe that's her.
Who knows? But what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Scotty,
The Jamar 4.
and, and we're here for another episode of the Prelude, and we're here to talk about relationships. But we're not here alone at all. We're here with two other YouTubers. I'm gonna introduce the first one. The first one is someone that I've known for a long time from Detroit. We have BubzDaGawd. Okay, I know him as Brandon though. I don't know him as no damn Bubs.
Hey,
I know Brandon. That's Brandon, not Bubs. Well, to y'all is Bubs, but no.
yes.
The second one is a relatively new YouTuber. I just came across him not too long ago, and I see that he reviews the same shows as I do. He reviews G Status, all the gay web series, all of that stuff, and let's give a warm welcome to the lovable asshole.
What's up, guys?
First of
What's up, guys?
all,
Praise God.
why is that your name?
Huh?
First of all, where you get that name from?
Okay, so I know a lot of people when they think of my name, they think of like the asshole in the back. But it's really my personality when people first meet me. I'm a Sagittarius, so
Oh,
I
Lord.
can I can probably come off as an asshole because I'm just a straight shooter. But when people get to know me, I'm actually a lovable person. So I never do anything out of malice or hate or anything like that. So that's why I actually acknowledge, I actually am honest that I can be an asshole, but I'm a lovable one.
Exactly.
So
Okay.
yeah,
I didn't know your friend was from Detroit. I ain't been to Detroit since I left.
Yes, I'm from Detroit and I'm still alive, contrary to
that's
popular
what's
opinion.
up. That's what see.
I'm still
Thank the
alive.
good Lord. Thank the good
Have you seen
Lord.
someone get shot before?
No, thank God, I've never seen that. Mm-mm. I've seen
They
a whole
asked
bunch
you.
of fights, but not like no shootings. I've heard them, but not seen
Mhm.
them.
Y'all got that snow. You can keep it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's bipolar up here, very much so.
You don't miss
Like some of
Detroit,
the niggas that
Jamar?
we dealt with. I'm just playing. Go ahead.
Hell no, I don't miss that shit. You
So
know,
you
they
don't miss Detroit at all?
not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. Because they will, if in order for us to have a snow day, the snow would have to be about as tall, up to like your fucking belly button.
Oh yeah.
Then
They
they'll
don't
be
play.
like, okay, maybe it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're gonna carve a little path.
Mm-hmm.
You to walk straight into them doors.
Yep, that's true. They will
Well,
not
you
shut
know,
nothing down.
well, you know where I'm from. If we get a teaspoon of snow, we close 'em.
Mm-hmm.
Everything closed.
Uh, the
So
South, if a gust of wind blow too cold, up, close everything. City is shut down.
closing, everything. As a matter of fact, lovable, where are you from? I didn't even get to
I'm
know that.
from
Where you from?
I'm from New York, Brooklyn, New
Okay.
York. So
Brooklyn
yeah,
in the house. Okay.
From Brooklyn. You already know. You know where they
I
burn up trash cans outside of my window, but whatever.
I can hear it in your voice. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I had to ask. But so listen, y'all. First of all, shout out to those in the chat. Shout out to my moderators in the chat. I know my moderators that are in the chat is gonna
Oh
keep
yeah.
this shit together. They're gonna make sure whoever come in with some bullshit gonna leave with their bullshit. They're gonna make sure of that. Okay. So tonight we're gonna talk about um the disasters that is love lives, sex lives, whatever, we could talk about all of that,
Or
all that
get
and
rid of
then some. Like,
Mm,
I'll get real
mm.
transparent with all of that tonight. So, let's start with Jamar. Should I start off with what did you feel was your like best relationship, or do you want to start off with the whole how did you lose your virginity type of question?
Okay, I think you should start with the virginity and then lead to the poetry.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'll go first. I'll go. I was about 20 years old. Yes, I was 20 when I lost my virginity. So that was
Oh,
like
you a
7
good
years
one.
ago. I was 20, and I had my very first boyfriend, and it's so funny. We went to the Red Roof Inn, and he chose the Red Roof Inn because my
Ooh, that
favorite
sounds
color.
so country.
My favorite color was red. So he chose the Red Roof Inn because my favorite color was red, and I had on red. So funny. And it was just weird because I was I was a virgin. He wasn't. So I was scared of shit because I was bottoming and shit. And I was just scared that the shit was gonna hurt me to death. And luckily with him, he knew exactly what to do, so it didn't like hurt like that. But I'd be lying if I said that there was no type of pain nowhere. But it didn't really, cause he knew exactly what to do, so he made sure that it wasn't like a bad experience. But I think it was the best experience for me because I always said if I was gonna lose my virginity, I wanted to lose it to somebody that I considered to be my damn man, and not just some random hookup. And I did feel like I was a bit of a prude because like a lot of my friends lost their virginity when they were in high school. My big grown 20-year-old ass just now fucking. But everybody else been fucking. So, that's how I lost mine. I was with my man when I lost mine. So whoever wanna go next, they can go.
uh,
Well, oh, what a, I'll just, I was gonna say the whole virginity, my virginity story for like a story time on YouTube, but I will say this: I was a baby gay. I didn't know shit about shit. I just came out and started to just do what I want to do. None of my family knew what the fuck I was doing. Um, I let's just say this: I lost my virginity at a sex party
oof, throw right in, huh?
All right.
in Brooklyn. I lost my virginity at a sex party. I freaking regret it. It's the most horrifying. Like, if I could take it back, I would because the person
Mhm.
that, like, if I saw him today, I would actually murder him.
Oh.
And yeah, it's that bad. Um, but I was a baby, just came out, freshly came out, and know shit about shit. He taught me the ropes, and let's just say that he, when I say stop, you keep going. How's that match up? So yeah, it was a
Oof.
horrific time for my virginity, and I would love to take it back because it was the worst mistake possible. But it is what it is. It shaped my outlook today.
And how
So
old were you at the time?
Actually, I came out very late in the game, so I was like about 24, 25.
okay.
So you're not the trust me, I lost my left 24, 25.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
I don't feel bad no
yeah, so
more.
don't worry about it. It's okay. But yeah, it was
Well, I feel like my virginity story is very boring. It was so just like linear on the nose. Well, it was this guy. I was 17, and we went to his house. This was like in 2000. 2008. Yeah, the early part of 2008, right before I finished, before I graduated high school. I went to his house, and it was it was really my first time really doing anything, kissing, getting head, fucking all at once. So, and he was fine. I ain't even gonna lie, he was fine. But so when we're performing the action, this was the part about it that wasn't the best. So on my very first time, I did get painted.
Oh.
Wait, you were the top?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, come on.
So I got that experience out the way real quick to kind of know what it's not supposed to be. Of course, he was apologetic about it and everything, and he was a really sweet guy. But it was just when it's your first time, you thinking like the next time that you go in, you a little like scarred. You're like, is this supposed to happen? Because you be afraid to go back there again. But I mean, other than that, like I remember I left his place because I forget why I had to leave home. Either my parents was calling me, or some reason I remember I had to leave out in a rush, and I didn't even have time to put my drawers back on, so I just put my pants on and just left out the house. And I never saw him again.
Damn.
I guess
Wow.
before getting to mine, you said you wanted me to bring up if anybody had a comment for you, and somebody in the comment section said, "How long did it take for you to trust another person to be intimate?" Well, boom, there you go.
It took about a couple months. Because I was like I said, I was a baby. I was a baby gay. So my first time was literally like my grace period, like my saving grace period, like my angel period. That motherfucker did me so good, so wrong, so wrong. It was a couple months since I got back on it because in my mind, I wasn't gonna let one experience fuck me from like having several others. So it was a couple months. I would say probably like two or three tops.
Okay, cool. For me, I lost my virginity at 18. um, at the time, I was dating this guy from Massachusetts, and we met on MySpace. And you know how old that shit is. You be fighting hoes. We went from number 1 to number 6. Bitch, what happened? So
Losing
that
friends.
type of shit.
Top 8.
I think I heard of this person.
Top 8 to top 16, so everybody can feel important.
Okay. But we met there, and conversation was dope. So it was a long distance relationship. After a while, after I graduated high school and I saved up a little bit of money, I ended up moving down there with him to be with him, and I was staying with him and his mother and his sister. And the first night was just like very romantic. Didn't know sex and nothing like that happened. It was just more so just glad to be around each other and stuff like that. But the morning after, it was great. It was wonderful. It was great. So for me, 18.
Okay.
Well, in the morning with the lights on. All right. Hey.
Yes. When you first waking up, okay? It's not Folgers in your cup. It's something else. Praise God.
Oh.
Okay?
Ain't Folgers and it ain't in the cup.
Yep.
I live for it.
Well, since we're talking, since we discussed our identity stories, what is your worst sexual experience? Should I go first?
Gosh, I really see it. Go ahead.
I'll go first because Jamar already know this story, and I think I told Brandon this story in the past
I
too. I'm
do.
not sure. However, huh?
I do.
Yeah, you do know because I told you. You got to listen to it first. So It was this dude that I had this big crush on. Back then I was into the guys that looked like Trey and shit, and I thought that Trey was just every goddamn thing. And, years later you find out it ain't shit. But um, he just, I just thought that he was so cute. But my cousin told me not to fuck with him because he was a hoe. Of course, I didn't give a damn. So I was at the mall one night and he was at the mall. And I didn't expect him to say anything to me. He spoke to me. He actually hugged me. He was, talking about, "Oh, I be seeing your Instagram all the time. I like your pictures and stuff." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. All right." He had sent me a kick, back when everybody was using kick and all this shit. He sent
Bitch,
me that.
not kick, Lord.
That's when he contacted me on kick. And
Didn't
I was
kick
just
turn into
so
WhatsApp?
I think it
I think so.
did, if I'm not
I think so.
mistaken. I think it did. But he hit me up on Kick as well. And then after that, after that day, that same night at that mall, I was going to the club that night. So he, after, when you meet somebody, when you meet up with somebody, you're not really trying to meet up with them, you just going to them. And then when you walk away from communicating with them, they instantly write you on Facebook as soon as you walk off. So he wrote me saying, "You going out tonight?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You gonna bring your cakes with you?" And I said, "Well, I bring them everywhere with me." So after that, he said, "Okay, well, I'll see you when we go to the club tonight." So we went to the club and he texted me. He was outside. He told me to go. He told me to come leave the club with him. So we went to a hotel room. He had already got the hotel room. Already got it. So we got the room, and it's like we make it to the room, and it's like soon as I got out of my clothes, it's like he was rushing, and it's like he just proceeded to ram himself in me, like and I'm guessing he was thinking that because I kept saying, "Oh my God," and then it's like I'm not making it any better because I'm like, "Oh my God," because I'm saying, "Oh my God," because I'm hurting.
I remember
I'm not
this.
saying, "Oh my God," because the shit was good. I'm saying, "Oh my God," because the shit hurt. So I'm like, "Oh my God," and then he was like,
Her.
"You like that shit, don't it? You like that shit, don't it?" I said, "Stop." And, sometimes when you saying stop, you really don't mean that person to stop. But I really meant for that motherfucker to stop. And so I was like, "Stop." And he was like, "Oh no, I ain't finna stop. I ain't finna stop." I'm like, "Stop, please stop. Oh my God, stop." All that happened within 5 minutes. And
Oh,
so it's
five
like
minutes.
after it was over, he really thought he did something. And then he looked at me and said, "I hope this don't end up being a one night stand." And so I said, I lied. I'm like, "No, it's not. I'm gonna call you." It's good. But I'm thinking to myself, please get me back to this damn club with my friend where I should have stayed. So he take me back to the club and I get ready to get out the car. He said, "I'm for real. Don't let this be no one night stand, bro. Don't let this be no one night stand." I'm like, "I'm not. You good?" Then I get out the car, go back in the club. I look at my friend. I said, "Can we please go home?" He was like, "Why?" I said, "Cause I really could have stayed here with you, but instead I left to get my block knocked off, and it really didn't get knocked off. Like it
Well,
was terrible.
it did, but not in the way you wanted.
That was the worst sex I ever had in all the days of my life." And he was so mad at me because I didn't call him back. He said, "You lied to me, bruh. You said you weren't gonna let this be no one night stand." I said, "I've been busy." I wasn't. I just didn't call him. He was so mad with me. He wouldn't even talk to me no more. But then he tried not too long ago. He tried to get some again like a couple of months ago, and I made every excuse in the world not to do shit with him. So you know, 6 years later, he's still trying. Bye bye.
You
You had your chances over. So anybody who wants to go next, they can go.
I mean,
Uh,
go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Jamar. Go ahead, Jamar.
So I had to think about who would be in the running as just the worst. Hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna have to tell y'all who this was when this is off.
Oh my god.
I'm going to tell y'all who this was when this is off because y'all probably know who this is because it's probably in a lot of people's bookmarks.
Mm.
Wait,
Do I
he's a
know
known porn star?
this?
Please tell me he's a known porn star. Please tell me he's a known porn star.
Tell him that you're never gonna leave him.
I didn't know that.
Tell him.
Hold on. So this occurred this past January.
Okay.
And I went out to the club as I normally would do on some weekends. And he was there with other groups of people we know.
Mm.
And, and everybody, they was like feeling on my piece. The other one was like, "Are we flipping tonight?" I said, "Hell no." But the other one, I kid you not. I kid you not. But so we all like walking outside, and he was like, let me get your number and everything, because He was living in San Diego. He was visiting LA for a week or whatever, and he was like, "Let me get your number. I want to hit you up." Blah blah blah. And so I went home, and I just thought to myself, I just wonder, after you've seen it so many times, you just want to know,
Mm.
how is this real?
Mm.
And I invited him over. And what
I
makes
heard
this so bad, it wasn't that it was just bad, like the act was bad. The part that made it the worst was that he literally walked in, didn't say a word, okay? Didn't say a single word,
Mm-hmm.
dropped everything, got on the bed and hunched over. Face down, ass up.
that's so whack.
Not even
I
like a
mean, but
hello, how are you doing? Not a drink,
Like,
nothing.
seriously, I greeted him at the door. He gave me a hug. We walked in. He just walked to the room, dropped everything, climbed on the bed, face down, ass up. And
You
I'm
know
like,
what? I'm not even mad.
maybe
oh,
he knew what time it was. Maybe he just
He
knew,
knew
hey,
what time. He
like,
knew
but
what time it
I know
was.
what this
He's
is
been doing it
about.
for
Let's
so
just
long.
get to it. Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
but we're at step like H. Is there an ABC?
Normally,
You be
yeah.
watching them gay
Normally, with
porns, they don't do no ABC. They go from A to Z, right then and there.
yeah.
Those are edited.
Fuck the fuck the
Thank God, because the
casualties. Fuck the
editing saves
casualties.
it. Because some of the acting be like, but go ahead. I'm just
Like,
playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
But it just, I just lost. I was just like, this is so strange. This is so strange. And I mean, he stayed over the next day. I mean, we still chilled. He did it again the next morning, and then he just left.
Mm.
But it was just so. It was the emptiest experience I've ever had.
Oh, I
I
got
was
what you
like,
mean.
I no, I don't like that. That's why I know I'm not like a one night stand type of bitch. Like, I need some.
So you a person like you need like the foreplay and all that stuff. You don't want it to be just like a common thing.
Oh,
Like,
oh
Yeah,
God,
like
I
I
know,
need.
I know.
There has to be a build up in order for it. You
got you.
can't just show somebody a new movie and then just show them the climax and then the credits.
True. True. Yeah.
You know,
But
Yes,
there are
that,
some people out there that just love action movies. Even though the plot be horrible, the acting be horrible, all that shit be horrible, it be so action packed. So there be some people, like
and
you
it be
said, they
empty.
be getting right.
Nothing.
That's true.
It be
That is
empty.
true.
All those type of action movies that they like, they're all the same. Explosive,
Exactly.
random car
Hmm.
chases that mean nothing.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's it's there's no substance. So that's why I'm like, yeah, that's how I know that's not me.
I can understand.
I need like a some sort of something. I need to have an attraction to you beyond the physical to really
Got
like,
you.
Mm-hmm.
Most
engage in the
definitely.
moment. Otherwise, I'm thinking like, okay, how much longer are you gonna be here? And I'm thinking about stuff that I shouldn't be thinking about.
Hmm. I got you. Yeah.
So
That makes
yeah,
sense.
that's why.
Okay.
okay, which
So
one of y'all need?
Okay, I'll go. I'll go. My worst. You know what, Jamar? You thought that your painting story was worse. I would top that.
mm,
So, at this moment in time, you know, I deleted a lot of people out of my phone. Like I was done. I was done. I literally blocked somebody. I had like a list of guys in my phone. Everybody had their own like parentheses, like this is the Queens guy, this is Bronx, this is Staten Island. You know,
mm,
everybody had their own parentheses
right.
next to their name on my contacts. I deleted them all, and this was this person I hit up on this particular app because I got back on the train. So
Mm,
this particular one, you know, we talking back and forth on this app, which is Adam for Adam. Now
Woo!
this person,
Oh, that's a
yeah,
long time.
mm-hmm.
Go,
This person not
go.
only is married with 4 kids, the dude has a very, very delicious looking dick with a black head, by the way.
oh my God.
And to top it off, he was Haitian. Baby, I never Caribbean men, something about them. I love aggression.
Mm,
I love aggression. So this particular day, we just got rough. We just started throwing each other across the room. And this is in my house, by the way. The house I'm in right now. So he's doing his thing. He's really going down there. He's really slurping, you know, gargling and deep throwing and all that, giving so much spit. And I love that shit. I love a sloppy toppy. So this particular time, he really wanted to get his butt plunged.
uh-oh.
So I'm like, did you clean out? Because when I hit you up, you already got in the shower and just came over here. I'm like, do you? And I asked them on this app, did you prepare yourself? He said, I'm good. Yeah. See, in my mind, I should have knew
Not
one plus
understood.
one equals two.
Oh.
This situation seems like 2 plus 4 equals 19.
Mhm.
It really don't
21.
add up. Yeah.
Hmm.
So okay, great. Comes over, he really wants to get plunged. And I'm like, let's just do foreplay right now. But he really wants to get plunged. So this dude is really extra, really extra. So got on the bed, he wanted to ride. He never rode before. And baby, I'm so upset to this day that I even remember it. Because baby, I did not have no towels on the bed. I did not have
Oh,
no towels. When I tell you, soon as he put the tip in, everything splashed right on me. When I tell
Oh,
you, I wanted to fight. I wanted to fight him, his 5 children, his mama, his wife. I wanted to fight everybody in his life because when I tell you I was so disrespected, I was so disgusting. When I tell you I threw the whole fucking mattress away.
Oh wow.
In the sheets, everything. And when I tell you I took about 5 showers that day. Like if I could, I would literally bathe in disinfectant.
Mm,
That's how bad it was.
mm.
When I tell you I kicked him out, I didn't even like, oh, he's trying to apologize. I'm like, yeah. Open that door. See you later. I'll call you tomorrow. I ain't calling shit. I blocked his fucking number and literally never seen him before. Never seen him again in my life after that.
Gotcha. Mm.
So yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Um.
I'm glad I didn't have like any splashback, no sort feedback of any kind. It was just more of a, little residue when you pulled out. There was no projectile.
Oh my lord. Oh my
So
lord.
you can keep
That's
that
why I
trophy.
say Jamar. Yeah, I was like Jamar. Don't even. What I got to say is gonna trump yours. So yeah.
You can have it. You win.
Well, since we on the
Oh,
theme of and topic of painting and shit, uh,
not
I'm
another
kind of like
painting store.
it's in between. Yeah. Now here's the thing. Now here's the thing. I understand you fucking somebody in their ass, and I mean you have to be realistic about it. But at the same time, be sure that before you have any activities that you know what's going on. When people say I know my body, I'm like, okay, well, I hope you do, because I don't want to know what's in your body if you say you know your body. So for me, it was actually a guy who was when I did my old YouTube channel on the Ocean 007, it was actually somebody who would comment on my videos a lot. And for me, I'm more so attracted to dudes that have more feminine energy. I'm starting to be what open-minded as far as masculine, but I mean right now Bay is everything. But this individual came through and all that stuff, and we started talking on the phone. And I ain't gonna lie, as far as like a masculine type of dude, or like the masculine energy or whatever, even though the energy has changed over the years, I was very attracted to Trey Melvin. Very attracted to Trey Melvin.
He
And
was
this
pretty
dude
looking.
yes. And this dude sounded just like him. And I'm like, oh shit. And then he was sending me pictures of his ass and stuff. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, well, why don't you come out here for a week and we can kind of see what's going on. So he ends up taking a Greyhound bus down here. He gets off the bus. At first, I'm like, niggas, we in 2005. Now this nigga looked like Soldier Boy stunt double, long ass t-shirt, all that stuff. Nigga low
Gross.
key smelled musty. I'm like, what the fuck? I felt catfished. You know what I'm saying? So the whole week, I'm like, I'm just waiting for Sunday to get here so you can get your motherfucking ass on. But see, I'm a person where I try my best to try to figure. I don't really throw things. I try my best to work with what I have. Sometimes that's just me. Um, and he told me that he was a bottom. So got back to the place, made a nigga take a shower because he was trying to get on me as soon as we got in the house. Afterwards, I'm like, okay, we getting ready to smash down, stuff like that. Head, all that shit on deck, amazing, wonderful. Get down to fucking. I'm hitting this nigga, and about like 2 minutes in, that shit just hit me up in my nose, and I just kind of stopped, and I'm like, are you sure you took care of what you need to take care of? He was like, yeah. I'm like, obviously, no, nigga, you did not. And he was like, so you still not gonna keep going? No. What is wrong with you? No. Now I know it's some niggas that's like cavemen that just love that nasty shit, but I'm just not one of them. It's like, come on. I mean, you wouldn't want somebody coming to you with cheesy ass dick looking like a melted goddamn um cheese stick or something. You don't want nothing like that. You don't want the shit smelling all cracky and all that. You don't want no dick butter and all that, right? So my thing is, let's just come to the bedroom respecting each other. At least wash your ass. That's the least you can do. And get up in that motherfucker if you talking about taking dicks and all that shit up in there.
Rinse it out until there's no more color in the water.
Yup. No residue,
No,
nothing. Like I'm talking about pure water, pure
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah.
letting the
Yeah.
soap suds run down between your crack is not enough.
Hell no.
Mm.
That's putting a band-aid on an open ass, infected ass wound. Get in that motherfucker and
It's
clean
not
it.
enough.
Clean it.
If you plan on somebody going back there to go grocery shopping, you need to make sure that the store is open.
Yes, and ain't no COVID around. Because apparently that's what the fuck is happening. So
So what was
Mm-hmm.
y'all? Okay, can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask a question to everybody? Okay, we already put in like our worst. What was
mhm.
y'all best?
So my best
Woo!
And let
is
me let me go first. Let me go first because it's on my mind. Can I please go first?
Gotta fix
okay.
my do-rag now, fucking
Baby,
around. Shit.
baby, I got two. And I wish I because I'm cuffed now. So but I just it is what it is. Like
Look,
those yeah, I'm cuffed. But these two are like my two, top two. And no shade to my baby. My baby do his thing. Like that's my baby. But we're gonna be like best. Top two, and these are both Queen's brothers. Yeah, I have an attraction for older guys.
Mhm.
Have an attraction for older guys, and these two are older guys.
Hmm.
First one. This motherfucker is four. No, 6'3", 6'3", and I love thick men. I love big guys. He's tall, big, but you know what they say about big men? They have little things. No, baby, that's a stereotype. When I tell you, big, listen. One thing about me is that I like aggression. I told y'all already. I like
Mhm.
aggression. When I
Mhm.
tell you this motherfucker will literally, by the time he gets in my vicinity, it's already closed off, draws off, assume the fucking position. When I tell you this motherfucker would have me like shivering.
All right.
And he would, and this is the crazy thing. Don't think I'm in the mind. Just take it. And this is don't do this at home, ladies and gentlemen. Do not do this at home.
Do you need a
Don't
moist
let
towelette?
anybody do this to you, huh?
Do you need a moist towelette? Seem like your body is reacting to this story. It's
I
just
know you're dying. Ah,
Just know
ah.
that the motherfucker would literally take me by the neck. His hand was bigger than mine. Take me by the fucking neck, put me in the pillow, and then just ram it with no lube. Ram it with no lube. When I tell you,
I have
and
questions.
I would let him. I would let him before it starts to like really hurt. And I'm like, baby, please lose lube. But the way that motherfucker had me, ooh, shalalabunja.
Mm-mm. 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 I rebuke it. Mm-mm.
So I need to know how that was physically possible without him raping you like a wet piece of tissue.
Yeah, because my ass is hurting
And
right now thinking
so
about that
here's the
shit.
thing. Here's the thing. He did. He did.
and you
Oh, so ooh.
It was my first, and you know what? I didn't feel it until after he was done.
Mm.
You know, and then midway through, he did put lube, but
Okay.
the damage was already done,
Was it
and
Mm.
white?
I didn't feel no way about it. It was like I wanted him over the next day. Like, fight a motherfucker for
Mm.
saying it, but the and then the motherfucker has a man, which is great.
Mm.
But this is when I was single. I wanted him back. And then so any questions on number one? So before
Hallelujah.
I go to number two.
I, I, I,
Mm.
I don't have any questions. I don't.
Ooh.
Okay. So number two guy. Number two, which is another Queen's brother. He is much older
Mm-hmm.
than 6 foot big, you know, and Caribbean. He's Caribbean, big guy, Caribbean too.
Mm-hmm.
This one is Caribbean as well,
Ooh, Lord.
but he's lighter skinned, much older. He's a construction worker, so he got some big, heavy, strong, uh, tough hands,
Come on, YMCA. Yes.
baby. Old man knows how to lay it down and do his thing. The motherfucker is 9 inches, tons of fun, baby. I'm talking about all over the house, like kitchen, bathroom, on the on. I even had on his construction wear while he was doing me.
Come on, role play.
So it was everything. And you know
Child.
what? What I loved about this person is that when I was sick, he took care of me
Mm.
and fucked me while I was sick.
Woo.
When I tell you
Mm.
that sickness did not stop him
Wait,
from pulling me.
wait,
Mm-mm.
hold on,
Mm-mm.
hold
Yes,
on.
Mm-mm.
he took care
He
of me
had
Child,
that
while I
dick
was
that
sick, and
told
then
death
and
to
just
behave.
wait,
He got the
hold
Holy
on.
Ghost
Before you
dick.
continue, before you, I need to rewind.
okay,
Did you say that this man plunged you while you were sick?
Mhm.
he did.
Girl!
He touched your body and chilled your soul. Mm.
He took care of me through my whole sick, and I was with him through a weekend. So I spent a weekend with him.
Okay.
But during that week, I got a little stuffiness in the nose, so my shit was running and I was sneezing a lot. So he made me tea. He put something in it so all that stuff could come out.
Mm-hmm.
But baby, that did not stop him from turning my motherfucking ass over and
Lord have
really,
mercy.
really giving me some happy endings.
Yes. Come on, nurse you back to health. Yes. Mm-hmm.
With his
Mm-hmm.
special.
Come on. Yes. That's Alexis K. Tyler ministry right there. Dick will make you
And
slap somebody and make you heal somebody. That's what she said.
mhm. And listen, it is what it is. Those top two, I cannot take it back. Those two. Yeah, I should make a video about them, but it's yeah. So anybody else want to go?
I'm screaming. I guess I can go.
Mm.
God is so good. I just want y'all to know that God is so good because one of my best, not even one of the best experience, I ain't even gonna hold you a lie, was last fucking night. Last
Mm.
night. Now, I know Bay is watching, and I don't know if I want to tell about all that happened because I ain't trying to die after this live. But let's just say, what did Weston they say on Friday after next? I don't get whipped, I whips. It's the other way around. That pussy that with me. That's all I gotta say. But it was absolutely amazing. And I love for me, I'm an individual where I like passion. I like that that aggression as well. I like the body heat and the body weight and the sweat and just the passion and all that stuff. I'm not really like a pound person. I don't really like that. I'm like melt into me, motherfucker. Like, can we be conjoined? That's the type of shit that I like. And they just knew what the fuck they was doing last night because I'm usually not very loud, but last night I was fucked up. Do you hear me? I was gone. I was gone. So for me, last night was the best. And I hope it continues to go forward. Ikarobo Shande Rababose. Thank you. Okay.
Mm.
And just so y'all know, I'm silly. I'm a silly individual. I'm very out the box. So please bear with me. So,
We know. Well, I know. So,
yes.
um,
Mm,
um,
mm, mm.
okay.
I gotta light my shit
So,
after that.
everybody that was a
Lord.
good experience were toxic. Let me just say it. Everybody was, every single one of them were toxic, and they were all Taurus,
Hmm.
and
Evil bulls.
all all of them were Taurus, and I really don't know what to say. It's kind of like I know for one, you know what? Yeah, he was a Taurus. He was an entanglement,
Shut the fuck
I'm
up.
done with you.
It's an
and
entanglement.
he was light skinned. I don't even like light skinned guys like that, but he was light skinned. He looked like he gave me kind of like a goofy type of person. He was very goofy, but when it came down to what it came down to, yeah, when it came down to what it came down to, like he was not goofy no more. He-
Oh Lord.
You know,
you
it's
know
be
how
the
Steve,
one that you least suspected.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know how Steve Urkel turns into Stefan. That's what happened with him. Because I wasn't expecting that
Mm.
at all.
Oh wow.
But he was toxic dick, pretty much. Toxic dick is always the best, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Shit,
Not
Unfortunately.
always, but a lot of times it is. A lot of times it is.
So, okay. Well, since it looks like Jamar, we the only two single people here.
oh, we are.
We
I
the
wish
only
I.
two single people.
Ain't.
Um, I guess what we can do with this segment because I didn't know. I knew that Brandon was involved or kind of involved, but I didn't know that the lovable asshole was involved too. So let's just
What
say this.
questions? What questions? What questions? What's the question?
I, I would just say this. Like I think we from since y'all two are involved or whatever, and me and Jamar
Hmm.
are not.
Hmm.
Maybe because y'all are in relationships, maybe the things that we decide to reveal, y'all can give y'all input on that,
Okay.
or maybe give advice, or maybe give your opinions on that, because we're the ones
Hmm.
that's lonely bitches in this foursome that this is what it is.
I pretty
Well,
So,
much.
first of all, you gotta stop saying like talking like that as far as like lonely bitches. Like, don't try to make it something negative. First of all, don't do that because it's not bad to be
And
single.
yeah, and let me just say this: this relationship that I am right now, currently, is literally my first
Mm.
relationship I have
Mm.
ever been
mm,
in before.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
So yeah, I have never dated. I don't have no exes. This is
mm.
literally my first relationship.
Okay, okay.
I have pretty much committed my life to the nunnery. I'm joined the convent. Um, my husband is Jesus Christ,
Amen.
and he is my shepherd.
um, as for me, pretty much, it's like. And then I got alcohol in me, so I'm probably gonna be very honest.
That's fine. I'm
Um,
I'm high as hell, so we about to be all the way real. Come on.
I'm
um,
sober and I'm always like, fuck it, I'll tell it. Shit.
Yeah, because your stories had me on edge. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm over here feeling it and shit. Like, oh no. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Go ahead, Scotty. Go ahead.
but for me, I don't know. I think that at this point, sometimes I feel like love is a mirage, and it's just really not
Mm.
in the cards for me anymore.
Mm.
Like, there's a person that I used to be involved with that I am interested in rekindling it with.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I feel like um due to the last relationship I was in and probably the relationship before that, I feel like sometimes I feel like it's not meant for me to be in a relationship. But then sometimes I have my moments where I where I feel like maybe the person that I'm supposed to be with is not in Mississippi, or
True.
sometimes I
Okay.
feel like person that I'm supposed to be with, I already met them already, but I haven't gotten to that point to where we could be in a relationship. Or sometimes I just feel like I'm not good enough for a relationship. Or then again, sometimes I just feel like I'm just ugly as hell and I'm just not desirable to have a relationship. That's just how I feel sometimes. I'm just being honest. This is how I
Right.
feel sometimes.
Right. And I can understand that feeling because I used to feel that way
Me
about
too.
myself. I used to feel like I didn't wasn't attractive at all. It took me a long time for me to start walking in my confidence in reference to me feeling good about myself. And one thing that really helped me is like look on YouTube. It's motherfuckers out here that you think wouldn't be in relationships that's in relationships, and not only that, they're in healthy and happy relationships. You know what I'm saying? Because even some of the most desirable looking people, those will be the ones that really end up with the most heartbreak because for a lot of them, it's just lust. It's just how you look. So for a lot of them, it's going to be a lot of like even the story that Jamar shared with us when he was talking about the worst sexual experience he had, and the guy just came in and just did what he did. I'm pretty sure a lot of individuals probably want him and look at him like you said. After a while, you be like, well, damn, I wonder how good this thing could be, and then you finally get it, and it's like what the fuck? If it was gonna be like this, I could have just jacked off at home. At least I could have made me a sandwich and could have chilled instead of dealing with your ass. Like, you know what I mean? But it goes back really to your energy and how you feel about yourself. Because once you start feeling it about yourself, everything else around you, and I'm telling you this from experience. And Scotty, I've known you for like almost 10 years now. Like I've known you for a very, very long time. We've had conversations. I've shared things with you. Hell, even on my old YouTube channel, you saw how my channel was. I was this depressed, hopeless romantic that all I wanted was a relationship that consumed my entire, not saying you, but I'm speaking for me, that consumed my entire life. I felt like I wouldn't be happy or couldn't live life unless I had a relationship. And I entered into a situation that completely cost me my life. And I'm glad that happened because that woke me up. And here it is now. I stopped wanting relationships, and now this bomb ass individual has come into my life just completely left field. And it's like, wow. So I think it really just goes back to what you believe for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And Scotty, I'm not gonna lie, and I might get cussed out for this, but honestly, you are a very attractive individual. You already know this. You know this. So I mean, everybody in the world may not find you attractive, but trust me, it's some motherfuckers out there that find you attractive and that you find attractive as well. It'll always work. It's just about if you're willing to continue to go forth and see if you want to receive that, because it's out there. All these people who went through all this shit and heard no after no after no, eventually they had to get a yes. So it's just about just doing what
Well,
you're doing and going. Go ahead, go ahead.
And I would say
well,
this,
see,
and
I don't
okay.
know. No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead,
Oh,
go ahead.
well, I'm a piggyback for what Bubs the God
Yeah,
said,
Bubs. Mm-hmm.
Bubs the God
Mm-hmm.
said, I I in my head I lost two potentials in my head at that time. I lost two potentials. We
Mm-hmm.
These two potentials could have been in a relationship. I could have been in a relationship with. But I think God wanted something bigger for me. And the guy that I'm with, he's not he's and I told him, I was like, he's not he's not my typical person that I would date. I
Mm-hmm.
told him that. He's not the typical person that I would date. So, but and you know what the thing is, he took his time with me. He took his time with me. He knows that I'm very guarded. I don't share my feelings a lot. So he came into a point where I stopped looking completely for a relationship because I desired a relationship at that point, and that's why those two potentials literally fucked everything up. You know what I'm saying? So when you stop looking and you keep saying to yourself, "Ah, shit, I want a relationship. I want a relationship." Once you stop saying that and start just like you know what? If it comes, it comes. If it don't, it don't. Because not relationships is not everything, but it's good to have a person with you, riding with you, and want the best for you. And that's the most important thing for me. Like like when I tell you, it took probably 2 3 months for me to tell my dude that I love him.
Mm.
My dude told me he loved me right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? And I was, and he would tell me I love you, and I was like, dude, I'm not gonna say it back. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not gonna say it back until I really feel it. And now I could confidently say that I love my dude
Mm.
because I wasn't attracted to his physical appearance, even though he's a thick boy, and I love that. But I wasn't attracted to him. I wasn't attracted to him only the physical. I love the fact that he was passionate. He
Mm.
was he he was. I love the fact that he was passionate about becoming a brain surgeon, a trauma surgeon. So it's like when you least expect it, that's when that a person will come into your life when you least expect it.
Mm.
When you're not looking, it's gonna come, in my opinion. Because you know,
Well, I don't know. I don't know if Jamar feels this way or has felt this way, and he can
Mm.
correct me if I'm wrong or not.
Mm.
But the reason why I feel the way I do, because for me, it's like when I get involved with a person, it's always someone else that they choose. It's never me. It's someone else.
Mm.
It's like you can do whatever you can to prove yourself to a person, and somebody else is still the better choice to them. I don't know if Jamar ever felt that way, so I'm gonna let him go ahead
Mm. Yeah.
because I don't want to take over the whole conversation. But I don't know if he ever felt that way or not.
Well, I can tell you the reason why I feel like I'm single, and we talked about this in the previous episode with your friend. I feel like I'm single because I feel like the type of person, and we're speaking honestly here, the type of person that I am
Mm.
is beyond where the community is now. And I say that because I am, let's see, how do I say this? People never, they look at me and they have their own perception of who I am, what they expect, what kind of person that I am.
Mm.
And then as they get to know me and I'm not who they expected me to be, they get turned off.
Mm.
For example, for me, naturally, I have no desire just physically to bottom.
Same here.
I don't have it. I don't have it. But a lot of people assume that I am, either from whatever their stereotypes is, and it doesn't help to the fact that I like to do drag.
Oh, okay. I see.
So they see somebody in body, hips, and makeup and nails on. They associate that with femininity. Femininity is, lesser than. Bottoms are considered lesser than, even though we don't like to admit it. We look at bottoms as less than subconsciously. And so when I'm not that, and I show them, and I kind of showcase that to them, they get confused. I've been told that I'm like a contradiction to myself. So
fuck you are the
it's
fuck.
it's like people, they want me to be this one thing when it's just because it's based off of what they expect.
Mm.
But when I'm this completely other thing, when I am who I am, it doesn't make sense to a lot of people, and they feel like I can't allow somebody who likes to wear makeup and has this hair to climb my back.
Mm.
So
Gotcha.
it's the people who are open-minded enough to look past all of that extra nonsense. They're so few and far between,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I feel like who I am and like the person that I want to be with is like the community hasn't gotten there yet. We're just now somewhat getting past
Mm-hmm.
the fat and femme phase. that's slowly moving its way out, because a lot of, like, there's been this narrative that's been up and coming of how feminine, like men are coming out talking about these stories of how I used to chase these masculine men. I used to chase the trade. I used to, go for the guy who was, the typical beautiful person that we put on this pedestal. And then once all those people kind of broke my heart, I dated this feminine dude, and it's been the best relationship that I've ever had. So we're just now getting to that phase. So I feel like I don't know if my time can come. I'm sure it can, but damn it, if my pickings are so slim, just based off of people's mindset. So that's why I feel like I'm just like in the slums. It doesn't help that this city is full of the most superficial motherfuckers on the planet. So
and I can
like
and
that,
I
that. Go ahead. Go ahead,
no,
Jamar. I'm
go
talking
ahead,
too much.
Scotty.
Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. This your
No,
show.
that
Go.
that that stuff that stuff can fuck with your self esteem sometimes. It can make you feel like you're not really like worthy of having a mate. It's like you see other people and how they look and all that stuff, because like just like Jamar said, the ideal beautiful person, or when, because like Jamar said, we had this conversation once before on one of our shows, on our previous shows, because it was the episode where Jamar dressed in drag and I dressed in like a hat, a gold chain, and a shirt similar to this. So I wasn't trying, it really wasn't on purpose, but it kind of fit in with what we were trying to convey. Because just like he feels like him being like into drag or being more feminine as a top can be an issue for him. Sometimes I feel like I'm too much of a man for your typical top sometimes. Even though I'm not masculine, but my presentation is. Like, I don't know, but then again, that shouldn't be an issue either. It's like sometimes, like when, for me, I always had this thing where I felt like the ideal handsome guy was the one with the big arms, with the body and all this stuff, and I ain't never had none of that. So, um, but my body ain't no insecurity to me. I'm pretty fine with what I got. Trust me, I'm fine with it. I've gained a couple of pounds. I'm fine with it. I look even better than I look in the past.
I
But
understand.
but off of that part, some like when you're used to being like number two all the time, it's always like okay, because like with the last relationship I was in, like I did everything that I could to um to prove myself. Practically took care of this person, even when I was going through my own stuff. And Jamar and Brandon knows exactly what I was dealing with. I was dealing with family issues, I've been financial issues, all that stuff, but still was trying to help that person out. And even with all of that, I still got cheated and they still went to someone else, even after everything that I had did. And they still to this day they want to be friends with me, but they don't want to own up to everything that they did to me. But they want to be my friend. That's always an option. We can be friends.
they
I'm
want
always the friend.
access to you.
Yeah, it's always, well, we can be friends. We can hang out, or we can hang out as friends, but we can have sex. But and then at that point, you feel like, I know at least for me, I felt like because I want that person so bad, I'm willing to just accept whatever it is that they give because I want
Right.
them so bad.
So can I
So
ask you a
it's
question, Scotty? Um,
mhm.
with that being said, like when you get into these situations and like they're in the beginning stages, what is like the narrative in your head? Do you feel like, oh, I know something's gonna happen. So I just know something's gonna happen. Like, do you have that doesn't run through your mind at all when it happens? No.
You talking about something negative?
Yeah, like anything, like if you're showing all these things or whatever, do you have like a conversation in your head that's more so, yeah, supporting the negative thoughts, like, oh, something's going to happen, whatever happened to me in the past is going to happen again. Do you feel like you're repeating a cycle?
Yep,
Okay, all right, but
because it
then
always happens.
yeah, but here's the thing though. Once
Gotta
again,
change that
that's why,
narrative.
yeah, that's why, because I was about to say that it's real. I'm so glad I'm part of this conversation. I'm glad we're having this talk. I really am. This stuff really excites me.
Mm.
Once again, it goes back to how you feel about yourself. Because here it is, you're doing all these wonderful things. If a person don't choose you because you're doing all these wonderful things, that means there's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with them. Because here it is, somebody that is doing this and that's doing all these, like you said, taking care of motherfuckers, doing all that's husband material, that's wife, that's partner material. And if they end up leaving you, that's on them. And I'm gonna tell you something. Everybody talk all this shit, but motherfuckers don't miss shit until after it's gone. That's why they still want to be friends with you. They want to be in contact with you. I forgot what the technical term is called, but they're putting you on the back burner. So it's kind of like, oh, I'm gonna reach out to Scotty every once in a while, see how he doing, just to see if I still got a little bit of connection to him, so that if I ever feel like I want to be connected to him, I can. But also at the same time, you a person that's really about your shit. And when you say you want a relationship, you indulge in it. Some people are afraid of the responsibilities that come with the relationship. They're terrified of it. It's too hard for them to handle. That's why a lot of people ghost people, because they too scared of it. Because what they expected was for you to come, or you to come over there, or they come, or whatever the case may be, y'all fuck smash down and that's it. But when you bring forth something with substance, sometimes it scares people and it makes them look at their own insecurities. So my thing is, don't beat yourself up for that. Because like even in my situation, I know the type of motherfucker I am, and the person that I'm with, ever since I went through my ego death, every person I've met has been an upgrade all the time, all the time. If it don't work out between me and them, I'm gonna be okay. I'm not gonna be, I might be a little bit hurt and fucked up about it, but I know, once again, like Tyler Perry and J.K. Rowling and all these people who have said these examples, they've heard no, 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 but eventually they got a yes. And you don't want to be that person where the real thing that you want coming to your life, you're sitting here, you're listening like with the cycle, and I understand because it's your experiences, so you can only go by your experiences. So it's nothing worth being mad at. But when you had that conversation in your head, you're manifesting that all the time, so it's going to happen in that way. But once you start changing the narrative about it, I guarantee you shit will change. And low key, it's already changing. I remember you from 10 years ago when you would be ready to pop a bitch in the mouth and cuss motherfuckers out. So you've grown and evolved and all that stuff like that. And look at like even
Has
where you are
he?
now, like, huh?
Has he really?
Shut the
Now,
fuck up.
now everybody got room for improvement. I mean, everybody do, but from what I've seen, like you really put yourself out there, and on top of that, like the lovable asshole said, maybe God got something bigger for you. So that's why a lot of times, once again, changing the narrative and allowing whatever your reality to be supportive of you and how you feel. Like I said, I'm speaking from experience.
Hmm.
Experience. And that's why I love this conversation, because especially with the LGBT, fuck it, with black gay men, let's just get right there. With black gay men, this is a big thing. But we don't talk about these things. We don't want to talk about our emotions. We don't want to talk about our feelings. We live in a world now where we're very guarded. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to look stupid. Fuck all that. I'm going to love. Because this is how I look at it. And this really helps me. And I'm sorry, I'm going to shut up because I know my ass is just talking. Motherfuckers like, hurry up, bitch. Damn.
Speaking
It's okay,
of,
but I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
say this.
Mm-hmm.
It like when I first got into my relationship, and as I said before, it like my dude wanted, like we was working on it, but I was about to literally tell my dude, I'm not ready for a relationship
Mm-hmm.
because in my mind, I don't think I was mentally ready for it. I don't think I wanted it. Like I was going back in my mind, like, do I want it or do I just need it? Do I need it or do I want it? I was going back in my mind about that. Like, do I want it? Do I need it? And for I kept leaning him on. Like I wanted him to be around, but I didn't want to let him go, but I also didn't want to cuff him. So I was being selfish. Like in my mind, I really wanted him, but I also wanted my cake and eat it too. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
subconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And when I tell you that my dude actually is everything to me, like everything I wanted, the dudes that fucked me over. When I tell you, motherfuckers would not text me back. I would give so much love out, but then there would become a time where I would hit them up and nothing.
Mm.
They would go ghost on me. Those two potentials ghosted me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing that to him. Even though I
Mm.
liked him, I was doing it to him. And I felt in my heart that I shouldn't be doing this to him. Even I like him, I want him, but I still don't want to put my heart all into it because I don't shit. When I tell you my feelings are everything, I didn't want to let him in because I
Mm.
was so guarded by those past two that I was building a wall up from my baby.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you this man texts me in the morning, in the afternoon, that mother. When I tell you when he works, he calls me. He
Mm.
calls me. He when I tell you he sends me like a long ass post telling how he appreciates me, how he loves me, no matter what happens. We get into a fight or we have a type of argument. When I tell you he gives me everything I wanted from a dude, like a relationship, he gives that to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When I tell you that motherfucker can have anything he want from me, when I tell you, listen, it's the type where I was like, if I come into some money, I'm paying all your fucking student loans because he's in school. He's about to be in school right now.
Mm.
So I'm giving him my all. And we had our first fight not too long ago. We got over that hump, and he checks the fuck out of me because I'm a type of personality. I will railroad you. Like some may call me a bully in a relationship. Like
Mm.
I overrail him because he's so soft. He's so soft, and my baby's a Libra. So, but
Bruh.
he don't take no shit from me. And when I tell you I love that about him because anybody who would check my motherfucking ass is everything to me.
Mm.
So it's like sometimes you need to go through those hurt to find out there's a person much more for you.
Mm.
You need to go through that and listen to me. Like I'm a big dude, so you already know that and thin shit. I heard I was about to a motherfucker he didn't want to be in a relationship with me because he said that listen you need to eat more. There was a motherfucker who told me I needed to eat more so he could be attracted to me. There was another motherfucker who wanted me to be in the gym with him so I could be more attractive to him. You need to lose about 100 or 200 pounds so I could be attracted to you. That's what the motherfucker told me.
Mm.
So two sides of the coins. I need to gain weight to be attracted to a person. I need to lose weight to be attracted to another person. Two sides of the coins.
And that's what that
So it's
grace
like,
and mercy covers. That's what that thing. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna shut the hell up because I'm talking. I'm sorry.
no,
I
go
ain't mean
for
to
it,
cut
go
you
for
off,
it. But
but that's where that grace and mercy come. And that's I'm glad you said that because I kind of wanted to segue to what Jamar said earlier, when you were talking about the type of guy, as far as like the mindset of people now and how you're ahead of that and how it's very few and far and in between. That's where that energy thing comes from. Because I'm gonna be honest, for the longest time I've been attracted to feminine men. In the situation that I'm in now, the person that I'm with possibly might be transitioning. So that makes me think to myself like, well, am I gay? Am I bi? Like what? That's the thing. But the energy that I feel with this person, and I care for it to where like they had makeup on and eyelashes and had these long ass Tomb Raider ass braids in the back, and I'm like, still snatched my soul. So it's kind of like once again, even like the example you said, where you said the one person said, "Look, you gotta get gain 40 more pounds for me to be attracted to you, or you gotta lose 40." At this point, it's gonna be like, well, what the fuck do I want to do? Do I want to keep eating this shit and gain 40 pounds and still get my claps cheek or clap some cheeks, or am I gonna get my body snatched or and do the same thing? It's just really about what do you decide and what do you want. That's why once again it goes back to what you believe. You are the. That's why my name is BubzDaGawd. I'm not the God, but I am a God, which means I'm able to manifest things in my life. And we manifest things every single day. And a lot of us are very unaware of what we're doing. But that's why a lot of times you have to sit in your head and think about yourself and think about your insecurities and sit in your insecurities. And one thing that helps me, and I'm gonna shut up, I promise. One thing that helps me is I think about death every day. I think about death a lot, but I don't think about it in a very fear narrative way. Because first of all, it's gonna happen anyway. There's nothing you can do to stop it. There are two things that's guaranteed in life. That's death and taxes. Those are two things. But when you work past and you sit in that and your ego trips and you start becoming fearful, have a panic attack, whatever the case may be, and you sit in that knowledge and knowing that everything is going to end, you realize I have nothing else left to do but fucking live. So that's when you start really supporting yourself and saying, I don't even know when I'm going to die. I don't know how I'm going to die. So fuck what everybody else say. I'm going to be happy in my life. I'm going to get all the shit that I want to get in my fucking life. And the universe, God, source, whatever you I'm sorry for the conversation. Whatever it is that you want in your life, guess what? It's going to happen to you. But you have to be more cognitive about what it is that you feel on the inside. And a lot of us, we have negative things because once again, we keep hearing the same narrative. We've been through the same cycle so many times. It's like, what the fuck else can I believe in? If it's not that, but I'm done. I'm shut up because somebody
Very
getting
that.
ready to leave because this ain't the conversation they wanted to hear. So I'm gonna
Go
shut
ahead,
up.
Jamar.
I'm gonna shut
I
up.
mean, very that because I've trained myself to not. I don't because I don't think badly of myself. I
Mm-hmm.
pretty much think I'm amazing.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. That's good.
Period.
That's
Amazing.
good. Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the world is unable to see me for who I am because of the lens of what society expects me to be.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's not like a self-deprecating attitude. It's just kind of like y'all are just slow. Like
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
like I need you to get we need somebody to break through and kind of get with it. So I have trained myself to not think, like I said, less of myself, but it's just like I am waiting for someone to see me the way that I see
Got you. Okay.
me.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it'll take someone who has the patience because nobody knows anybody when they first meet them. It's going to
Yes.
take somebody the patience to see, take the time to kind of feel me out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like,
Mhm.
but I don't know what these people want nowadays.
Yeah.
But I just try to be, the best version of myself that I can be. If they just decide that it's not for them, then it is what it is. Because this is what I was thinking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my last relationship, that's when I knew how that I had to sort of be unapologetically myself. Because my last relationship, he was not a fan of the like the makeup thing, the drag thing. That wasn't really part of his fantasy of who his partner was going to be. And so I abandoned that. I kind of let that go. I didn't really, pay too much attention to it. And I found myself feeling very like hollow.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I didn't feel like I was being completely honest with myself. And it's not like, And you know, another thing is when you mention something like that to somebody, some people feel like, oh, you want to transition, oh, you know, you want to be a woman. It's like it's really nothing about that. It's just I like to have the freedom to express myself whichever way I'm feeling that day.
Right, right, right.
Whichever I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling that day.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people don't get that. They feel like if you go that far as to wearing like the body and the makeup and all that stuff, then you want to completely transition to the other side. It's like, no, that's not what this is. The whole gray area of the gay community is so, it's not as educated, or they're
Yeah.
not educated. We're not educated about it as much as we
Mm-hmm.
like to be.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're getting there. I
We
do
are.
see the progression. I do.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not there yet. And so
Right.
that's why I feel like
Gosh.
I'm doomed.
Well,
No,
and
no.
another thing to piggyback off of, because again, like we kind of had this discussion before, but it's like for me, and what I openly admitted to a couple of episodes ago, probably our second episode of the show, probably. I think that I have like this addiction to toxicity
Mm.
because that's
Okay.
what I'm used to. And the
Okay.
reason why I say that is because hmm, maybe about 3 years ago, I got in this relationship with this guy. He was older than me. He was probably like 11 years older than I was. And he was long distance. I tried
Mm-hmm.
the long distance thing. And from what I can say was he probably was like the best man I ever was involved with. But I wasn't used to that. And
Mm.
I felt like it was absolutely, positively too good to be true.
Mm.
And I got scared of it.
Mm.
And ultimately, I ran away from it because of the things that. And another thing is because he's older, he had different outlooks on what relationships are
Mm-hmm.
than I did. Like, um, he was the type of man that probably would have taken care of me. But I'm the type of man that is willing to take care of himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't need nobody to take care of me. You know what I'm saying? I don't need nobody to do too much for me. Like, I got it. Like, if I need your help, I'll ask you for it. But I don't want to, But he was a good guy. Honestly, he was. But then I found myself running. And what did and so I broke it. I wanted to take a break.
Mm-hmm.
So in hindsight, I look back and I'm like, I had a great guy. And when I left the great guy, I went right back to what I knew. And that's a
Mm.
tough man.
Mm.
I went right back to the dysfunction, the uncertainty, the I'm all in, but I'm not really sure if they are. So I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure that they know how all in I am. You
Mm.
know, doing so much to prove myself. Um, wondering if they really feel the same way. Finding myself making more initiative than the other person. Bringing them into my space, into my close space, like letting them meet my parents. Well, not my parents.
Mm.
Letting them meet my mom, my family, my friends. Letting them do that, only for them to fuck me over, which is the
Mm.
cycle. But I had broke the cycle when I was with the older man, and he was, all of that and more. And I'm still in contact with him. That's the person that I was referring to when I said it's an ex that I want to rekindle things with.
Mm.
So
Okay.
it's like, I wasn't used to his brand of love and affection. I'm used to a
Mm.
man not giving a fuck about me, and that's what I went
Mm.
to. Was a man that really didn't give a fuck about me. So
Mm.
here I am trying to heal from that situation. I broke up with that particular man, not the good person, but the fucked up person.
Yeah, good.
Back in November. I told you about that, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Back in November we broke up. And it was a
Mm-hmm.
mix of all of the horrible things that was going on in my life. Like I didn't even have a roof over my head at that time and we broke up. So that was probably the worst time of my life.
Mm-hmm.
That was the darkest space I was ever in. And not to mention, you already don't have a roof over your head, and then you lose a relationship. And then,
Yeah,
as soon as you
yeah.
lose a relationship, you find out that they're already in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship,
Mm-hmm.
only been broken up for a week. So
Mm-hmm.
when you're already in a low place like that, you have no other choice but to fall even deeper into the hole that you're trying to,
Mm-hmm. Right.
climb up out of. And then, it's just like I said, the main thing that I admitted was I feel like I'm addicted to toxicity. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
be, but it's like that's all I know is a toxic man. So when a good guy comes along, I really don't know how to have
Mm.
one. So
Now
I don't
think
know how to.
about that. But think about what you just said though, right there. Just imagine like how you said you broke the cycle with that guy. Just imagine how many guys you've helped break their cycle with when they came to you. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why I says back once again, it go back to the whole self-love thing. The self-love thing. And I'm gonna tell you something. It's not self-love is not a destination. We have to get that narrative out of our head. It's not a place you just get to and you just there. It's a ever-growing learning experience, and pain and confusion, all that stuff is going to be part of it. The question you should be asking yourself is, no matter what I go through, will I be able to survive it? Will I be able to survive it? Because at the end of the day, just to be all the way honest, your relationships, our relationships we have, they're going to end one. They're going to end. They're going to either end voluntarily or they're going to end involuntarily, where y'all could be together for 15, 20 years, had the most bomb sex ever in life last night, and you turn over and to wake your partner up, what's going on, baby, and they don't wake up. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
once again, it's really about you. You was talking about climbing yourself out the hole. You have to. I know it sucks and it hurts to hear this, but I'm glad I heard it and I applied it to my life because it really really helped me look at life in a whole totally different way. We're not responsible for what's done to us, but unfortunately, we are responsible for the cleanup. We're responsible for what people do to us, which is why the forgiveness thing is happening. And then when you healing, don't date. Please, I'm gonna get in the camera. If you are healing, do not date anybody. Sit
I
your ass
haven't.
down and heal until you get to a better place. Because what happens is that cycle you're going through that ends up hurting someone else. Then they say fuck it, and then it ends up because some people don't heal. Some people completely just say fuck it and let it go and let it consume them. So we have to be responsible for our stuff first. It takes us. The change that we want to see in the world, it starts with us first. It sounds so cliche. It sounds so tree hugger. It sounds like something a high nigga like me would say. But I'm telling you, it is the truth. If you apply it to yourself, I promise you. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time.
And
I
guys,
He'll,
he means just because. Let me just make this. He
yeah,
says
go ahead, go ahead.
dating,
Let me shut up.
guys. He said dating, but sex also, because sex, when you put sex involved too,
Woo.
you get
My
all
man
those
is
fucking
your man
feelings
is
wrapped,
my
and
man
then
too.
like
I
you
haven't
think
had.
sex is gonna make that shit better. No, it don't. It just fucks you up even more. I've been there.
I've gotten.
I'm gonna say. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead,
I
shit.
was like,
I'm
this will be really quick. I just feel like I've just gotten to a point where like that's why I picked that story as being like my worst stories because
Mm.
I cannot involve physically with another person and know nothing about them. Not even like their name. I didn't know this person's real name.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I've had a, the only conversation I've had with that person was in a dimly lit room with loud music, drugs, and alcohol. I know nothing about this person, but yet I'm expected to engage in the most intimate act that human beings can participate in
Mm-hmm.
and expect to enjoy it.
Mm. Yeah.
And see, I haven't even had sex. Okay, that's a lot because I did have sex. No, I didn't. Whatever.
Ooh, the dick was
Um,
that good. It can't make you remember. I'm just playing. Go ahead.
listen. Um, to be honest, and y'all might not even believe me, but let me count the months. Okay,
Let
I was
out the
with this. Shut
way.
up. I was with this person, this last person, for 8 months, and I never had sex with them. And it's not because I didn't want to.
Mm.
It's because they try. And you, if you know me, you know that my sex drive is high, very high, higher than high.
Or
If you know me, you know
I
that.
don't know if it's
Shut
as
up.
high as I am right now.
Probably
I'm just
higher than
playing.
that.
or
But shut up.
You know what? I
But
feel like blazing
anyway,
up right now, honestly.
Low key, because I was thinking
no.
about rolling up too, but I was like, but since we doing that, I mean, and
I got
also
my shit rolled up already.
I
I
already
got my
smoked
shit in
my
the
shit. They was
bag.
small. And I just want to say real quick, I'm sorry, Bella Dior, you right, I did misspoke. We are not responsible for what people do to us. We are responsible for how we respond. You're absolutely right. I was out of context. Please charge to my head, not my heart. You're absolutely right. Yes, yes, we are responsible for how we
but
respond. Mm-hmm.
I need
like
a
people was looking
lighter.
at me sideways even then because they was like, y'all ain't even had sex and you doing all that. We didn't even have sex, and it's not because I didn't want to. It's because he made every excuse in the world to not have
I
sex.
can hear y'all. Keep going. Hold on. I can hear y'all.
Okay. He made every excuse in the world to not have sex. It was my sex drive is low, or yada yada yada. But child, listen, I can't even believe that I even continued those 8 months and did not have sex with him. Because if he knew how many people was throwing themselves at me for those 8 months, he would be amazed. And I turned them all down, as hard as that was.
Mm-mm.
because we be so glad, that we got, somebody that we supposed to be able to call our own. That when somebody
Mm-hmm.
does try to, holler at us, we be like, nah, I ain't trying to be that person that other people have been to me.
Exactly.
So
You said
let
it.
me
Exactly.
let me be respectful. Let me do the right thing, and be faithful to this person, only to find out that they've been put in those same situations and chose the opposite choice.
Exactly. And it's exactly what
So we
happened.
sitting up here looking the
Jamar? Oh, okay.
I'm back, y'all. Sorry.
wow, they out there having the time of their life.
That's what I'm saying. Like for 8 months, I was with your ass. We never had sex. Don't get me wrong. I tried. Every time I had a chance, I tried. I tried. I tried. I tried. I tried. Because every time I was around him, not to say that every time I was around him, I needed to fuck, but I wanted to. If we're being
Amen.
honest. Because I mean, that's just the type of person I am. If I'm in a relationship with you and I find you extremely attractive, I want to fuck you all the time. I'm just saying.
Or
You can call me a whore if you want to, but it's just what it is. If I'm with somebody and
I
I'm
mean,
extremely
I feel like
attracted
that's
to them, I want
I
to fuck them
imagine.
all the time.
I
Yeah,
imagine.
I want to.
Cannot
Like,
speak. I cannot speak from experience. So I imagine that when you're in a healthy relationship and there's somebody that you're actually attracted to, that you want to engage with them on a continuous basis. Uh, that could be me romanticizing what an actual real life planet Earth relationship is like. But again, the longest relationship that I've had was about 6 months, and 2 of those months, well, no, only about 2 of those months I was actually happy with.
Oh, I was with him for 8 months. That was part of my longest relationship, and I was only happy the first month.
Let me
So,
ask y'all a question. Oh, sorry. Why is there such like a stigma in a black gay community that is like only months and not years? Like I have never heard of a yearly, like years of a relationship. It's always a month, and I was like, why is that such keep repeating itself in the narrative? Go for it, Jamar.
I can give you my theory. Of course, I can't speak for everyone, but in my experience, black gay men are some of the most judgmental people on the planet,
Mm.
and also are the people who want to get in the highest, what's the word I'm looking for? They try to find the greenest grass possible.
Yeah.
And if they have a lawn, it's nice and well cut. Consuela comes by once a week and to do a dust up thing.
Yes.
They will still look 2 blocks down and see somebody whose grass is 2 shades greener, and be like, you know what? I need to move over there. Only to realize that the person over there sprays their grass with
Yeah.
spray paint, and then after you done the work to soil grass, get the soil right, you done got it down to a science and everything. Your shit is good. Now they want to come back.
It
No,
just
you stay over
like
spray painted
it,
ass
it,
painted grass.
it was crazy to me though because when we hit 6 months, I was excited. I was like, "Oh my god, I hit 6 months.
That's
I
basically
got
a
to be
year
doing
in gay
something
terms.
right." Right, I got to be doing something right. Then we got the month 7. Oh my God, we're still together. Got the month 8, we
Are
done
we
broke up.
happy?
I wasn't happy. To be
A
honest,
lot
I'm
of
gonna
us
tell
will
you,
claim that 6, 7 months and not actually be happy. We like the
not
milestone,
happy.
but not happy.
And I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you just like this. I'm gonna tell you just like this. The thing that really gets me the most about this whole little situation is this right here. When we were together, he claimed to be a private person. He didn't really like to post pictures of his significant other. He didn't really like to do this. He really didn't like to do that, which I was fine with because I'm a private person. I don't really like to post who my significant other is like that. If I do post them, it's I'll post you on March the 1st, then I'll post you again probably July the 4th, or I'll post you like, because I just feel like sometimes when you, and it's a shame that we have to think like that, but sometimes when we're too public with our relationship, sometimes people find a way to just fuck it up the more public you are with it sometimes. So sometimes you
A
feel
lot of
like you got
people
to
look
keep
at
it
it
to yourself.
as a challenge.
Huh?
A lot of people look at it as a challenge. That's why you have to be so secure in your own shit.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Go
you
public.
know. Right. Once you go public with it, that's when all the bitches start coming. Once you
Yeah.
go public. So then it's like, okay, I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. But then it's like after we broke up and he got with somebody else, he posted picture after picture after picture. And on top of that, not only are you with another, not only did we break up on November the 30th, but you was already with him on October the 29th because that's what you said. That's how long you've been in a relationship with him. So you was already in a relationship with him for a whole month before we broke up. And on top of that, me and the boy you're with now has the same birthday. The same exact
Dirty
birthday.
fucking dog.
In the
So
words
it's
of the
like,
great, oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, in the words of the great T.S. motherfucking Madison, KTN, kill that nigga. Let me stop. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Remember, I live in
I
Detroit.
wanted.
I live in Detroit, so it's got to
You're
be
right.
me.
You are correct.
I live
I'm
in
no longer
Detroit.
surprised. I'm no
Boom, boom,
longer
boom.
surprised to have
There we
that by
go.
your bedside in your nightstand drawer.
Praise God. And there's another one underneath my bed.
See, I can't have a
I
gun
hear
because
that shit.
I can't have a gun because that boy would not be here no more if I had a fucking gun.
I'm screaming.
Honey.
No, I'm for real. It's like that boy, that particular person has really just fucked my whole head up when it comes down to relationships. Now I'm gonna feel like everybody want to use me now. You know what I mean? Like everybody want to use me because it's like, oh, everybody say, but Scotty, you have a great heart. You're a good-hearted person. Blah blah
But
blah. But
as far as saying everybody use you, once again, you got that one experience. I'm sorry. I play devil's advocate a lot. You did have that one person come through who did show you your worth
I did.
and matched your worth. But once again, see, these are the things, see, these are the conversations that we need to have. And the fact that you are even willing to be honest about it. You know what I mean? That shows a growth right there. And we need to start doing that because your story are so similar. Just like we were saying, how with gay people, with our community, it's months and all these other type of things. And I think one reason why is because I think the reason why like sex and lust and wanting to hurry up and rush into things is so prevalent within our community is because you got to think about it. We grown up being told that we're less than, that we're demonic, that we are future child molesters and we destined to go to hell and we gonna have all this horrible stuff happen to us. And we hear from family members, we hear from friends, hell, we hear from people at the church. So it's like, damn, all these people don't care about me. So then you're saying that God don't care about me either. And then you finally get with these people and they feel the same way. So now the only love language that we have is sex. So that's why even a lot of raw sex is happening now because it's like you're telling me I have to deal with all this shit. And then when I want to be intimate with somebody, I have to have a barrier to protect me too. And I want to feel the true 100% genuine love from somebody, or at least the illusion of the love that I want to get in this situation. Of course, they're going to do those things. So I think that plays a role in it as well. It's a lot of things that everybody, not even just black and gay, we could even make it bigger, which is not part of the conversation, probably later on some way, whatever. But it's a black thing too. Like it's a lot of things we need to unpack. And we didn't have conversations like this before. And now that we're having them, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult, but it's not impossible. Let me shut my inspirational Martin Luther King ass up.
And you
But
know
it's
what?
all
Let's go.
true.
Yeah, it goes even farther than that. Like some of us have come from like very we don't have that picture of a mother and a father like with years and loving and not seeing that. Listen, I come from a mother. I lost my mother a year ago.
Mm,
I lost my mother a
mm,
year ago. I didn't have a father. I don't know who my father is.
mm,
So I never had a picture of a mom and a dad and come together. I never had that. I never
mm,
saw that. All I know is that my mother loved all her kids and gave love to each and every one of us. Maybe not equal,
mm.
but I know she loved all of us.
Right.
So when you haven't seen that, you kind of internalize like, damn, am I going to have that and someday want that? Or you just going to go through life just having this one, having that one, having this one. And when you find that one person that actually wants you and wants you only, you get scared. It's like, wait, I'm not used to like having that emotion come to me. Like, back up. Like, you're giving me too much.
Mm-hmm.
And let me
That's
tell
how I
you,
was.
That's how I was with my dude. I was never going to let him in into
Mm,
hearing, into getting to like my heart because I'm so protected. I'm so protective of my heart and my feelings. Because once I let you in and you fuck me over, when I tell you everybody in your family is gonna get it, I mean that shit. When I tell you the last person that fucked my feelings up, the last person to fuck my feelings up, I end up fucking his best friend.
Oh God.
Oh, you that type of petty.
She is sad.
I'm that
What she
type of petty. Like
sad?
you fuck me, you. It's sad. It is. It's so sad, but it does fuck with you mentally. It's like damn, like you just want love, but when you get it, it's kind of like, do I want it? Like I've been hurt before, so you keep internalizing the hurt instead of the good.
That is
You're
so
not
true.
gonna think about the good. You just internally thinking about the worst, and it's
Mm-hmm.
That
sad
is
that
so
we do
true.
that as a human. But it's light, and sometimes you have to sit within yourself and say, like, you can't keep doing this to yourself. You can't keep
Yeah.
fucking running away somebody that's a beautiful person. You want everything. You want this. This person is giving to you. Why are you not giving him an inch? Why are you not giving him like that next step? Why are you not taking that next step? You're just so scared, and you protect what's yours. You build the wall up, and I
Oh
had I
God, you
had
talking
to
about me?
some
I
you
guess
listen,
I
the
know.
both of us, because I was just like that. I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
and it came to a point where I wanted this person, and I got him, and I opened up to him, and when I tell you, we both hugged each other so tightly.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you, I even cried on this nigga's shoulder. I cried on his shoulder, and I don't like to cry because the last time I cried was at my mother's funeral.
Mm.
I hate crying. One thing I don't like being emotional, and as a like when I tell you my mother was never emotional, that's where I got it from, and that's sad that I don't show emotion. But when I tell you I buzzed down and cried on my dude's shoulder when I let him in, and I told him, "Don't take my feelings for weakness. Please don't." Because when I tell you I'm a get back, don't play with me when it comes to my feelings.
Mm.
I will literally hurt you and everybody that knows you. It's that deep for me.
Yeah.
And
Oh, okay.
like you said, I
I'm
have all
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a little crazy.
I have associated like that feeling of when you get to know somebody and you kind of get comfortable with them and you start feeling emotionally attached.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I get to that point with somebody, my body, or like, I don't know if it's either your brain or your heart, whichever one is in control of that emotion. One of those starts putting up red flags. Alert, alert, alert. All association that you have had, at least for me, all
Yeah.
association that I have had with getting to that point with somebody emotionally has ended with pain.
Mm,
So naturally, like when you used to touch the stove when you were a little kid, you don't want to touch that stove no more because you know it's gonna burn. So when that
exactly.
feeling
Yeah.
starts to bubble up
Yeah.
from underneath and you start feeling some type of way, you feel like you want to call them and talk to them all the time, you're like, wait a minute, hold on. I'm doing too much. Remember how this
Mm.
happened the last time?
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
was
Mm-hmm.
me. Like I swear I understand it because it's like for me, it's like honestly, like when I go into anything, I'm always and it just goes back to what Brandon and the lovable asshole said. Change the change the narrative or whatever. Because every time I go into something, I'm always expecting for them to do something to me. I
Mm-hmm.
already know they're gonna do it. I already know what's gonna happen. It's like, and then it's like the red flags are there. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I told Jamar, and I think I told Brandon this 2 months ago. When I was with the last person I was with, the red flags were already in my face.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was warning me before I even went there with that person and said, he's this, he's that. I don't like to take stories from what other people say. I don't really don't like to go by what other people say. I
I
really find
understand.
out for
Yeah.
myself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
and eventually everything that they said was the truth, but
Mm-hmm.
I saw the red flags. But at the same time, I felt that I had a point to prove. And the point that I wanted to prove was that I could have a man and that I could keep one. Because when it boils down to it, outside of Jamar, my friends here at home, a lot of them, they always have somebody like that. I'm always introduced to their boyfriends and shit like that. I'm always meeting them. I never have anybody to bring to bring around, or I don't never really have no one. So it's like when I get somebody, when I finally get somebody, they don't be around for too long. They
Mm.
always, I be talking about them. Probably a week later, they already gone. So it's like, but also like the lovable asshole said, it probably goes back to whatever trauma you faced as a child. Because to be honest, when I was growing up, my mother was in an abusive relationship for all of my life with my ex stepfather.
Mm.
She was in an abusive relationship, and I had to sit back and watch that for most of my life. He was in my life from age 4 to age 26. So
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much all
Wow.
my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I grew up around. I grew up around domestic
Mm.
abuse. I grew up around mental abuse. I grew up around verbal abuse. I grew up around all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, when me and Jamar did this episode with my friend Aaliyah, we were talking about that. And I was like, I said on that particular live, I said, sometimes I kind of believe that because I saw my mom deal with that, and even
Mm.
saw my sister deal with a toxic relationship.
Mm.
It kind of trickled on down to me. Because even now,
Mm.
my little brother is like 20 years old. He's dating. He got this girlfriend. They argue
Mm.
all the time. I call that
Mm.
toxic right there. So it's kind of
Mm.
like, is that what we learned subconsciously?
Mm.
Is that why we're all so attached to toxic people? Because
Mm.
we was raised in a toxic environment where there was
Mm.
abuse, there was this, there was that. You know what I mean? So sometimes, yeah, because like the love, as I say, it can go back to childhood traumas. It could go back to whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because even as a child, and you, well, the love asshole just got into me, but I know Jamar Brandon knows for a fact that I've spoken out about being bullied in school too. Like I was
Yeah.
desperate to fit in, or desperate to
Mm-hmm.
have friends, or desperate to have somebody to like me. So it's like maybe that also plays a part in my relationships. I want someone to like me so bad. I want somebody to love me for who I am instead of
Mm.
having to censor myself to be accepted.
Mm.
So it's
Yeah.
like when I
And
feel like I'm not. Go ahead, go ahead.
no, no, finish what you're saying, Scotty. Finish what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I feel like I'm not accepted, I feel like, am I doing something wrong? Is something wrong with me? Because a lot of times I feel like something. As we're sitting here right now, like I said, I already told y'all I'm healing from their relationship. Although we broke up back in November, I'm still healing from it. I
Right.
still have my days where
Mm.
I feel like something is wrong with me. And this week has been that week where
Mm.
I've pondered over it, and I feel like something is wrong with me. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not I'm not what other, because it's easy to hear other people tell you how handsome you are, how amazing you are, how great you are as a person. But when you have somebody treating you as if you're nobody,
Mm.
then
Mm.
Well,
Mm.
I have a couple of questions to sort of bring it back to somewhat of a lighter side, because even though yes, the relationships can be daunting and very sad to think about, I like to imagine how it would be if things were to be better.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go around the room and talk about what our best date was
Okay.
and what our like ideal wedding song would be.
Ooh.
And I'll start. And even though my even though like my best date wasn't with somebody who I sort of saw myself with. It was the best date because it stood out from all the other dates I had ever been on in my life. Because typically for me, whenever it came to dating, I felt like I had to be the one to be more assertive, plan everything out, uh, provide, pay for everything, provide the service of being that role.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy that I went on a date with, he was an older guy. I think I was 24, either 24, 25 at the time, and he was 41. And normally I wouldn't have entertained it just because it was too much of a gap. But I had a friend of mine, or a close friend of mine, who was dating somebody he was actually younger than I was, and his boyfriend was 41. So I'm thinking, well, maybe it works for him, maybe it could work for me, so let's try it out. And I mean, ultimately, the reason why it didn't work out is because he reminded me way too much of my uncle. They looked exactly alike, so it wasn't going to work. But what made this the best date is because he took all of the pressure off of me. Like, I didn't do anything. He came to my apartment complex. He picked me up in a very nice vehicle. When I arrived in his vehicle, he gave me a live rose, not a fake one, a live rose and a box of chocolates. We went to the movies. He bought me food at the movies.
Ooh,
Of course,
Lord.
our tickets. And it was just like, I'm not used to being catered to in such a way. So it was like, it was nice. I enjoyed it. I still remember that date because it stood out from all the other dates that I had ever been on, because I felt like I had to be the assertive one. Because like when you have the conversation about you getting to know each other, you say, hey, if you have like the top and bottom conversation, you tell them that you're a top, and you're kind of like, oh, well, I guess now you have to be the assertive one. But when he took that, that role, I don't know if it was a personality thing. I don't know if it's because he was older. He had like a more old school approach to dating. Whichever it was, bomb as fuck. As far as the effort that went into it. And if I picked like my wedding song, I feel like the song, and I've honestly picked this song since I was like a teenager. Like even it could have been even earlier than that, because I felt like the words and the lyrics would have been so applicable to me if that day ever comes. Is Casey and JoJo's All My Life.
Okay.
That's it.
Hey.
That's it. All of my life, I've waited for someone like you, and thank God that I finally found you. Amen.
Oh.
Yes.
Like that, like even those two lines of the song could repeat the entire ceremony.
Right.
And would be that it couldn't be any more broken down.
Yeah. That is a good one.
So, if anybody else on the panel wants to talk about their best date and their ideal wedding song, the floor
I'll
is
go
yours.
next. Um, it was last month. My baby suggested a picnic. Now, when he said picnic, I screamed. I screamed to the top of my lungs because, like, for whatever reason, I have never been on a picnic before. And we went. What park was it? What park was it? Central Park. I'd never been to Central Park before, and I've been to
Oh shit.
when he told me we were going to do it when we was going to be in a picnic, and I prepared the day before, probably like 2 days before. I was getting blankets, towels, everything. I was like, okay, what food are we gonna get? Because I'm not making shit. And so we literally on our way to the train, We got some food from a deli. We got sandwiches, we got chips, we got juice, all that. And I had a bag too. And I baked some I baked some cookies. I baked some chocolate chip cookies the day that like a couple of no, did oh that morning I baked some cookies for both of us.
Mm.
And when I tell you that was the best, it's the first time I put my relationship on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was when I tell you that was a beautiful moment for me. I loved it. We walked all through Central Park. He took me to the turtle pond. When I tell you that turtle pond was everything. So it's just I literally like I couldn't be more happy to have a picnic with the one person that I chose to share my time with and my day with, and I actually love this person. That was everything, and we have many more. So he just did it for me, just to say picnic, because I've always wanted to, like, at least go to have a picnic. And it was the summertime, and I was looking all good. I had my jersey, I had my glasses. I was giving it. I had to dress my baby because my baby do not know how to dress. I had to dress my
Oh
baby.
Lord.
So yeah, I had to dress my baby. But that was like my that was everything. It was just us and the sun, and we was talking, we was taking pictures. It was everything. Wedding song. I would say I promise, Jagged
Okay.
Edge. Or it would be I promise or Gotta D.
Okay.
I love Gotta D. Something about those two songs is just everything to me.
So not the Let's Get Married, the typical Jagged Edge.
No, it was no. That's so typical. No, I don't even want that at my freaking wedding. No, that's so cliche.
Mm-hmm.
No, mm-mm. I hate it. I'm sorry.
I want somebody to sing Stevie Wonder's "Ribbon in the Sky" live.
Oh yeah, that's actually my parents' wedding song, "Ribbon in the Sky." So,
Am I the only one that hates that
hmm?
song?
Yep.
Am I the only one that
Oh
hates that
Lord,
song?
Mm-hmm.
No shade to Stevie Wonder. I just hate that
I
song.
swear.
You are the only one.
well, Brandon can go because I don't have nothing for neither one
Oh
of y'all.
Lord, Scotty. Uh, um, I'm probably gonna lose my life after this, so it was nice knowing y'all. But my best date was in my first relationship. I'm pretty sure with Bay and I probably be dope, but COVID fucking shit up. But when I was down there, he lived in this town called Middleborough, and it was like very small and it was very quiet. And I love that. Like I don't really like city life. I would rather be on the country or some shit out away from everybody. But it was very quiet and everything died down around like 9, 10 o'clock. And the only thing that was open was a gas station, a pub, and then there was like this pizza shop. And I remember the first week I went down there, he was like, "I got something planned for you." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So we ended up going to this pizza shop and we sat in and we ate. And usually people go in there just to get takeout, but we sat in and dined in and everything. And we walked around his entire neighborhood till like 3 in the morning. There was nobody fucking with us. It was just like amazing. So that was probably like the best date. As far as a wedding song is concerned, um, it would have to be the song "No One Else" by Amel Leroux. I think that's how you pronounce her name. It's from the Why Did You Get Married? No, Why Did I Get Married soundtrack. And it's a beautiful ass song. And I'm an emotional dude. I'm probably gonna be crying and shit, but that song is dope.
You a
So
Cancer, yeah.
yeah, it's Cancer with the Gemini cusp. I'm three motherfuckers. Yep.
Listen, I already know. However, which tradition I want to use for my ceremony, I'm going to be a mess.
Yeah.
I have
I'm
no
gonna be.
words.
I love you, and
I
that's
already,
me.
I already
I
That's
told
me.
my baby he's gonna have
if
to.
I am
He's.
strong,
Oh.
if I'm strong, I think I will be able to hold up the face all the way up until the vows. I will be able to keep a straight face up until this motherfucker is standing in front of me giving the vows. That's it.
I see your ass walking up the aisle. I'm already losing it. You know, people just turn around and see they just break down. That's me. Gone. All that.
I think
I
like
So
the
said,
peace for y'all.
your boys will allow you to like cry. They ain't gonna clown you for the shit.
I
It's so
always
cute for
said that I
y'all.
don't even want it. I don't even want like a whole big wedding because I'm not
I shouldn't be laughing at
the
that.
one for big parties because I don't like all the attention on me. I just don't. Like I love everybody else to have fun and not focus on me. So if I could not be the center of attention, but it's kind of no, it's not really because it's whatever. But I just don't like the attention on me for some reason. I just don't. I don't like people looking at me and coming up to me and be like, "Oh, congratulations, thank you." Like, just get out of my face. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be that person at my wedding. Like, "Oh, thank you, don't touch me." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that type of person. I don't like a lot of attention on me.
Now,
But
Scotty, now even though you over here and you still healing and stuff like that, you gotta have a song that at least when you sitting there imagining it, it comes to mind. Come on now, you ain't got no damn all them damn R&B songs you be singing, and I miss your drunken karaoke's, but you ain't got no
Oh
song.
God, I don't.
You ain't got no
Kayla
Because
Sales,
song,
the
I don't think
rain.
I'm gonna
nothing.
get married. I don't think
Somebody
I'm
in the
gonna get
comment section
married.
said something that had me dying, but it's true. Someone said, Scotty, someone had to treat you right once, baby. Come on now, somebody. It's a song, a song.
well, think about the person that did you good, and then
Yeah,
you could,
think about the
yeah.
rekindle flame. Come on, Scotty. Inquiring minds want to
I
know what's the song.
Out of all them
don't
Monica,
have
All them
one.
damn Keisha Cole song. Well, never mind. Her ass be
not
crying.
Hey,
Keisha Cole,
Michelle.
Exactly.
Monica.
I mean, K Michelle got some good songs. Come on, that has
Your
to do with
name is
marriage.
based off of you
No,
still
Scotty
standing
Yes,
with
ass
for
when
breakup.
Trust
still standing
and
after a
Believe
relationship.
Me came out. When Trust and Believe Me came out, I wanted to bitch slap what's name for singing that song because it's like because of you. Every time I go down my timeline, Scotty ass is gonna have that song 50
Because I
million
was dead.
times.
I
Oh
related
Lord.
to that
Sent from
song.
heaven. I love that
Why
guy. Sent from
everybody
heaven.
want me to come? I have nothing to give to this right
That
here.
would be
I
it.
have nothing. I have
Even like
nothing.
a, it can't be like a forever song. It can't even be like Fantasia's "When I See You."
Yeah, a crush song or something. Zane Crush.
The only song that could come close to what y'all trying to get me to answer is Angel of Mine by Monica. That is the closest song that
Praise
comes
God,
That's,
we
close.
got
I mean, that's
something.
a great one. That's one of my
That's
favorite songs
Yes.
of all
everything.
time. That's my
That
favorite
is
song
it.
of hers.
That is it. That is it. That is it. That is the closest that I can give. That is the closest. That is it.
Well, thank you for the effort. I appreciate it. We appreciate it.
See, I didn't want to say shit because I don't want to come across as the negative one. All three of y'all got all these nice dates and shit. I can't give nothing to that conversation. Like nothing. All my dates were the same.
I only said it
They
just
probably took
because of
me to
the
a
fact that,
movie or took me out to eat.
and you know, it
That's
was just the
it.
fact that I didn't have to do nothing. Like I felt like I was being the one that was catered to for once, which is very foreign to me.
Yeah.
But it's something I like. I like to do that sometimes. I like it to be a little bit of back and forth. Like I cater to you sometimes, you cater to me sometimes.
Yes. I like
I
that.
had no balance.
Somebody in
So
the
when
comments
I
asked me what
had it,
my ideal date is. I don't have an ideal date. Like I don't have no ideal date. Like there's nothing that I necessarily look forward to in a date, but I don't want it. Like if I had to have an ideal date, it's something that's not basic. It's not something that everybody does. Oh, I'm gonna take you out to eat. I'm gonna take you to a movie. I'm gonna take you here. Like be more I'm not impressed by that shit. Anybody
Right.
could do that.
Mhm.
So it's like, you know, something that's not basic, something that you actually put time and effort to think about before you decide to do it. Like I
Gotcha.
could take anybody to Red Lobster if I wanted to. That ain't nothing to be bragging about.
Applebee's,
Ooh, two for
Yeah,
20.
like I could give anybody a fucking two
Cheesecake
for 20.
Factory.
Cause honestly, I used to be the
Benihana's.
type of guy. Listen, I used to be the type of guy that really didn't need nothing. Like if we went to Taco Bell to go eat, I was fine with that. I didn't care about that stuff. Like that shit didn't matter to me because I like tacos, so it didn't
So
matter.
if they ended up like have you come to their place and they made you homemade tacos, would that be good? Like a good date?
Yes.
That is
Okay.
a
Okay.
turn
That would
on.
be that would be great. That would be
If
see if
they,
somebody was paying attention to what it is that you like and listen to the small things. Trust me, they're out there.
they
I'm one
make
of
it,
them.
it's one thing to take, to a place that provides it. That's great, and that's all. But when you do it and then you do it yourself,
And it's good. Even though
I'm
it's bad,
taking
but if
off
it's
my,
good.
I'm throwing my drawers.
Okay. Okay. And they're out there, Scotty. Trust me. Like I said, I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I'll give you a perfect example. It was one dude that I was talking to for the second time. We rekindled and everything like that. This nigga said he wanted a Chucky doll for his birthday. He said it one time. Now I'm like, yeah, y'all niggas crazy because you like Chucky's. I'm glad I dodged your ass. But anyway, he would always talk about this makeup light that he wanted. He would talk about it all the time. But he mentioned that Chucky doll one time. I went out and got that, and still got played. And still got played.
Well, it was a guy that I was dating one time. We were only dating, and I was supposed I had tried my hand at being the aggressor. So every date that we went on, I was the one that came up with it or I paid. And it was like he was talking about some some type of sandals he wanted. It was like some Puma sandals or something he wanted. He kept saying he was talking about it. He was like, it's some Puma sandals that I like. And I said, how they look? And he showed them to me. I'm like, oh, those are cute. Okay, so I was like, okay, should I get those, fam? We're not official, but I think that'd be nice. So I bought the sandals for him and I gave them to him. And he was so appreciative of those sandals. But of course, after like the fifth date, we kind of broke off after the fifth date. At least we got to 5 dates. That's how terrible my love life is. At least we got to 5 dates,
Oh Lord.
and we cool. We cool though. We cool now. I mean, it didn't end on bad terms. It just wasn't. I
It
don't
was
think it wasn't for me because I'm not used to being the one that's making the plans and going out on dates and paying for them and being the quote unquote man of the situation. That ain't for me. That was too much work. I don't see how y'all do
You know what's so crazy is that I don't know why there's like who's the master, who should pay. Like, first of all, we have to know that we're gay, but we're still
it.
men
But
at the
we're
end of the day.
men.
We're men at the end of the day. So it's no like either
I
one,
remember
take out your
Bella.
wallet, and if you don't have it, like, well, first of all, if you're dating, if you ask me out, you're paying. If I ask you out, you're paying. And if I find out that you so-called left your wallet home, I will only pay for my meal and my meal only. But my baby, I'll pull out if I have it. I'll pull out my wallet regardless. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Sometimes my baby be like, "No, baby, I got you. Like, don't leave your wallet in your pocket.
mm-hmm.
He'll got it here." He won't even think about it. Like I remember the time where we both went to Dunkin' Donuts. He said he didn't have the money or whatever. I was like, baby, don't worry about that. I got it. Don't worry about it. What up? We getting donuts. You know what I'm saying? But he kind of played my motherfucking ass because he had a credit card. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's like we don't worry about that shit. Like, we're both men at the end of the day. So
But
it's
I
like,
know, I know for me right now though, like I said, I'm still like, I don't know how long it's supposed to take. Like, I was questioning myself because I was like, because I'm still healing, even though I just broke up with this guy in November. It's like I'm still, how many months is that? Um, is that about
I'm
eight,
high.
9 months? 8, 9 months?
Long enough.
yeah,
I'm
within there,
still
within there.
healing. So it's like I don't want to have sex really. I be
Mhm.
want Let me take that back. I want to have sex, but then I choose not to. And then it's like I don't really want to involve myself with anyone like that. It's like I want to date, but then it's like, should I be doing that? You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. When you break up with someone and you know you ain't going back to them,
Mhm.
because I know I'm never going back there ever. But what I don't understand is because um I remember when I told Jamar about him. Jamar said, "You need to break up with that motherfucker. You need to break up with him. You need to break up with him. You need to break up with him." And he said, "If you doing all that and he ain't doing nothing for you, let me tell y'all, he never did a thing for me. Nothing, nothing. I did everything for him, but he never did nothing for me. Nothing, nothing. He never did nothing for me." So Jamal was like, "You need to break up with him. You need to let it go." And when I did break up with him, Jamar was happy I broke up with him. I wasn't fucking happy, but he was.
You fucking right,
And
bitch.
I
Cause
remember.
I ain't about to have you out here looking the fool, bitch.
It always takes that one friend because I have that friend for my best friend because he was dealing with somebody who don't even got nothing, no passion, no ambition. His mother, he was in love with somebody who mother took care of him, and he was a grown, when I tell you grown ass man. And I was telling my best friend, even I wasn't trying to be negative and everything because I'm like, why are you with this motherfucker? Like, you have a good job, you're a social worker. The fuck you doing with this bum? You're a bad bitch. Like, fuck is you talk? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I remember even telling Brandon about
Make it
this
make
dude.
sense.
Like, I remember telling Brandon about him. Brandon said, "Well, if you're doing all that, then you need to have a conversation." He wasn't like Jamar, who instantly said, "Break up with him." Brandon said,
Don't
"You
roll
need
your
to have
eyes
a
when I say talk
conversation."
about me.
Brandon said that you need to have a conversation. Are you happy, Scotty? Are you happy? Because it doesn't sound like you're happy. I had to admit that I wasn't. Shut up, Jamar. I had to admit that I wasn't. And I haven't
Lamar's
been. And I
everything.
hadn't been. And I hadn't been.
And I
Listen,
was right.
I'm not telling you that.
You don't have to. You're not with him anymore.
Guy, the best thing, man,
Jamar is
honestly,
everything.
the best thing, honestly, as far as a suggestion, is to just just enjoy Scotty. Enjoy what Scotty likes. Enjoy what Scotty want to do. Figure out what you want to do. You already building your brand, all that type of stuff. It's time to focus on you, and the right thing will come along.
I would say this though, like in the midst of all of this stuff that was going on with me, like I said, you knew and Jamar knew. I didn't know love was asshole back then, so of course he didn't know. But in the midst of all that stuff, like dealing with the breakup and dealing with like practically being homeless at the time, it was Jamar who basically came and said, And I tell this story all the time. But I just feel like I have to tell this story sometimes so people can understand. Because
Okay.
when you're on YouTube and you create bonds with people, people only think that it's fake and it's just on YouTube shit. When I really rock with people, I really rock with them. And you know, I've known Brandon much longer than I've known Jamar, but still in all, you know, you get what I'm saying. However, Jamar came to me and he was like, okay, listen, we really need to come together and do our podcast. And we had been talking about doing one for years and years and years and years, and we really wasn't confident in what we were trying to do. But you know what? When he came to me with that, they gave me something to look forward to once I got out of what I was in.
Hmm.
So I said, you know what? Jamar is right, even though I don't like to say that he is. But Jamar is
Say it
right,
louder.
bitch. Anyway, Jamar is right, and I'm gonna take out this time to figure everything out, and once I'm settled, I will focus on that more often. Cause I'm gonna be honest with y'all, dealing with the fact that you don't have a roof over your head and you have to stay in the hotel with three other people, and the only time you have alone is when everybody is gone, and not to mention when you're in that hotel room by yourself. And the only reason why you in there by yourself is because your car broke down too. So your relationship broke down. You don't have a place to go, and your car broke down. Imagine going through all of that at one time. So I had many days where I sat in that room when I was off of work, and I thought about everything. And I was like, and sometimes when you sit there and you think about stuff, you think and you think and you think and you think and some things come very clear to you. And I said, I've been doing YouTube for years, and I haven't really made it my priority. So I feel like now that I'm in this space, and once I get out of this space, I can really make it my priority, as well as doing what I want to do with Jamar. And once I got settled like I am now, that was my goal. Even while I was in the hotel, me and Jamar was getting fucking we was on the phone like coming up with names for our podcast. The Prelude is not the name of our podcast, just to let y'all know that's not the name of it. The Prelude is basically what it is, a prelude to our podcast when it comes out.
Got you. Okay. Okay.
So we coming up with names, we paying for artwork, we looking at artwork, because I'm not good at artwork. I let Jamar handle that shit. And when Jamar got somebody to deal with it and he showed me how it looked, I gave my input and we got it and we paid for it. Like we was doing all of that while I was in the midst of getting myself together. Then once I got here, I bought a ring light. I bought a black background. I bought another tripod. I bought another computer. Like I was saying to myself, like I bought a webcam for this type of stuff. I was like, this is what I need to be doing.
Yes.
This is gonna get me to get back to me, and it's
Yeah.
gonna help me out with my healing with the situation. And to be honest, a lot of the conversations that Jamar and I have had on this show,
Hmm.
whether it's with amongst us two or with other people, it has been like a therapeutic thing. I think this whole show that we decided to do was like therapeutic for the both of us because it's stuff that we probably wouldn't even be talking about. So it's like I can say, and I'm only using Jamar as an example because he's here. But that's not to take anything away from Brandon either, because Brandon was also someone that I constantly talked to during that time. But I would say that Jamar really pushed me to I don't know. I think he pushed me to really get into what I like to do,
Yes.
and that helps when you're dealing with all of the stuff that I was dealing with at that time. Because that was a low point in my life. I probably ain't never been that low before in my life. So, and because suicidal at that time, and Brandon was mad with me about that. Whatever, but all that stuff is going on, and it's just it's like, to me, it's like I'm coming into myself again, but I still got a ways to go, I guess. I don't know. You know, I don't like to give that bitch up there with the dress that many props, but I guess she deserves it, I guess.
Yeah, and I understand
She
your
deserves.
pain.
He
I
does.
understand your pain, Scotty, because when I went through my ego death and stuff like that, I'm sure y'all have heard of Conscious TV, right? Y'all have heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my spiritual teacher. And baby, he lit into my ass and kept his foot on my neck for the longest time. But I am so appreciative of it because a lot of
Is
times,
that the person I talked to on the phone with you?
yes,
Okay.
yes. Um, a lot of times we need friends that are not going to tell us what we want to hear. They're going to have to tell us what it is that we need to hear. And look at it like you were saying, Nick. Jamar was just telling you all these red flags, bitch. Listen, look, no, no, no. But of course, you are your own person and all that stuff. But here's also a thing too. That's why I say self-love is so amazing, because you can turn it and flip it and say, to everyone outside of you, it may seem like a mistake, but it might be what you need to go through in order for you to learn. Because you can only gonna bump your head a certain amount of times before you actually wake up. And I think when you went through all that stuff happening with you, being temporarily homeless, and the breakup and all that stuff, that was literally an ego death. That was literally pushing you to the point to where it was really telling you to focus on yourself. And look, you just sat here and focused on yourself so much that you had the goddamn OGs panel, had goddamn Scorpion show, Sweet Addictions, brought back a reunion. And literally, y'all motherfuckers are literally OGs. Literally, like, y'all was there like toward the beginning, middle, and part of YouTube before it became all fake and shit like that. Like when it was actually real, when you guys had conversation and talk. It
Okay.
wasn't just about motherfucking getting people to clickbait and doing dumb, stupid shit. Y'all was talking like, look what happened. Look what happened. You're in a much better place.
Yeah.
But how did that happen? Once you started looking at yourself. And yes, someone said in the comments too, staying busy sure helps. It does. Because when you're single is really figuring out what it is that you want. Single is the moment where, okay, I need to figure out what it is that I want. Because if you don't know what you want, how in the fuck are you supposed to have a relationship that's going to be beautiful and fruitful and life-giving, and you don't even know what you want? And you want this other person to figure that out, and you don't even know, and you confused? No. No. That's why the best thing to do is to just be single. Ain't nothing wrong with being single. Before I got into what I was in, I was comfortable being single. There was a point in time where I wanted a relationship so bad to where I could not fathom the idea of not being in a relationship. But now, if I don't have one, okay. Because I came in this world by myself, I'm going to leave by myself. So, and then when I die, really, honestly, ain't none of this shit going to really matter anyway. So why get stressed out about shit that's really going to end anyway? You know what I mean? And once
Hmm.
again, you're living life and just keep doing what you're doing. The healing thing, keep doing it. That's very imperative and it's important. And you have a platform and you have a purpose. And you're going through all this for a reason. And you connected to all these people for a reason. So keep focusing on you. Because, like, it's a scripture in the Bible, and I don't fuck with organized religion, and I'm going to shut up after this. But there's a scripture in the Bible that says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these other things shall be added unto you. The kingdom of heaven is not outside of you. We look for God's source outside of us instead of the one place where it's always been. And once you start loving yourself, everything else has no choice but to love you as well. I'm done.
And let me
Well,
add to
Oh, Lord.
let me add a little bit to that. Let me add a little bit to that because Scotty, I've been watching you for a very long time, and Scorpion was the one that I looked towards, and I was like, I want to do YouTube. I didn't know how to do it. I was scared, and I wasn't fully myself yet. I didn't even come out at that time. So I look towards you, Scorpion. Brian B. Like, oh my God, if you get Brian B here, I have to be here. Because Brian B was one of yo, I still love him to this day. Like and you know what's so crazy? I think he lives in New York. But baby, Brian B. Who else? Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear
Yeah.
Can y'all still hear me?
you. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because my two earphones went out. Brian B. Who else? Who else? Who else? Musty Miles. I still love him. I wish he'd get back to YouTube. But that's another story. But all of y'all, I used to watch heavily. Like, I used to watch nothing but black YouTubers. And baby, y'all had me was like, oh, they can do that? I can also do that because I knew I had a personality. So it's like when I got on YouTube, I'm not even a year in, but November is when I started my channel. When I tell you I got my ring light, I got my camera, I got everything like that. And I started to put, and that's when like, I think that was like after my mother had passed and everything, like a couple of months after my mother had passed. And I didn't want to cry no more. I was sick of crying. Fuck all that crying shit. I wanted to do what I now love. And on top of that, during this pandemic, I finally know how to edit my videos. If you look at my past videos, you can tell that it was edited videos, then it was non-edited videos, and now it's like heavily edited. And right now, all the videos from this point on has been edited by me because I actually taught myself how to edit. I made it my mission. I made it my mission this pandemic. I'm not gonna sit around and be depressed because I'm not an essential worker, so I'm not working my full time, but I ain't working my part time. But I made it my business not to sulk in depression and actually do something with my motherfucking time that I have. And I learned how to edit. And now I'm consistently putting out fucking videos and content and everything like that. I love it. And baby Scotty, when you started being consistent with your shit, you put that fire under me because when I saw you be consistent, it made me want to push myself even further. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here to tell you, you made me want to be consistent more, even more. Because you wasn't as consistent, but when you became it, I was like, oh, if Scotty could do it, I can do it. Let me stop making excuses saying I need to hire an editor and hire this people, hire this. No, let me do it my goddamn self and let me do this. And when I did that, and I started like being on these panels and I got with L Teddy, you know, like subscribed to me and invited me on to his panel, his live, and everybody started to see the name The Lovable Asshole more. It was like I'm on the right path. I'm actually in the right path, and that's really before. I'll just stop talking, but you deserve your tens in this.
Well, blame Jamar for that because he the reason I'm consistent. Blame
Yes,
that
we need to
bitch for
give him
that.
his roses too. Because for someone to be a friend that can push your ass when your ass is stubborn, they know like, oh Lord, I swear if I ain't live where I live and I live close to this bitch, I would drive and hit this hole in their face. But was there and they were your higher self. They were the person that was inside of you that you're supposed to be connected to that's telling you this shit. And look what happened. Y'all over here, like I said, the OG panel, I'm like, oh shit, like y'all did this. And then on top of that, Scotty, your healing and all that stuff, and the fact that y'all doing this inspired someone else to want to do it too. And the way that his mindset is, your mindset is amazing. That's how I am too. If they can do it, so can I. Let's use Beyonce for a reference. I'm saying something good. I'm not trying to die. I'm just saying something good about Beyonce.
But you know they coming.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to get Scotty channel demonetized and destroyed and shit. But here's the thing. The only person that's stopping Beyonce from being Beyonce is her. So the only person that's stopping you from being on the Beyonce level is you. Because you have to be with you for the rest of your damn life. And what you say goes in your life. What you have, the conversation that you have internally, that's your shit. Can't nobody, that's why you have to be secure in who you are. And you're on that path. It's gonna take some time. You're gonna have days when you feel some type of way. And once again, I'm pretty sure Jamar ain't got no problem sitting here telling you what you need to do. Like, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Because once again, that's what real friends are for. But you on the right path. Like everything that's happening right now is happening for a reason, y'all. It's happening for a reason. You just got to believe it for yourself. And I know it's hard to do right now. It's hard to do, but that's where faith comes into play. That's when you give up and just say, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go ahead and just let go." And when you start letting go, such beautiful shit starts happening. I'm telling you, once again, from personal experience, I was on the same page. I thought the same way you did. I didn't think it would happen for me. And now I'm literally manifesting my best life. I mean, I'm on your platform, which I'm so thankful to be on. You have way more subscribers than me. And I'm thankful for that. And that might even help me. But see, because I love myself and love yourself, heal yourself, and things will work out. I'm really done. I'm about to eat my pizza. I ain't talking no more. Yes, I love how Jamar has the strength to uplift Scotty and hold the show as well too when he has two awesome friends. Exactly. First of all, can everybody in the chat put the clapping emoji for Jamar? Can we just clap it up and give the roses? I know Scotty, your ass rolling your eyes, but that's okay with that Coco Dorm bed. Please clap.
Listen,
yes. Come on, speak.
Be that as it may, as it we help each other. I wasn't consistent either.
Okay.
So he was the one that was like, "You need to do some videos." We brought me on the Justice League. You need to review G Status, and it's just like all of this has come from me, like taking his advice. So we help each other. It's a mutual relationship.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's why this works. That's why it's been an exciting project, I think, for the both of us to kind of bring us back from, because I think we used to be like hitting it. Oh, child. We used to be hitting it on the goddamn YouTube streams back in like 2013, 2014. Mm-hmm. Oh, baby, we used to be in it. Oh,
I remember those Bad Girls Club's reviews, baby. Those Bad Girl Club reviews, baby. That was everything.
I was broke with no job, flunked out of college.
And I'm sorry. I also gotta say this too. I'm sorry. I love where you are, Scotty, now, but when your ass used to go the fuck off, I don't know who it was. I don't know who it was. Somebody you was cussing out. I don't know if it was. I want to say Kelly Price, but I don't think it was Kelly Price. It was. Well, yeah, it was Kelly Price. It was booked and busy, and you had a new name for this bitch. I'm like, I see where T.S. Master got her idea from. I'm just playing with the Whitney Wendell shit. Because your ass had a nickname for her ass every time. I'm like, damn. But those were funny. Like, those were good. And then also, I love your drunken karaoke. When you get drunk and sing, it's the funniest thing. I will invite you to my wedding just so you can sing a song.
Baby, look. I just posted his drunk review of G Status on my Instagram.
Oh, Lord.
And Charlie commented and put it on his fucking stories. I literally chopped that shit up. I screen recorded Scotty's video and put it on my Instagram. Baby, I never laughed so hard like Scotty. Your drunk reviews are fucking hilarious.
I told you.
Oh my god.
And I wish you would low-key bring that show back, even though I know it'd be hard, but what's in it as the T spills?
I used to love watching that shit. As anymore.
T spills. Like, come on, in the life of Scotty. All right.
Oh my god.
Someone said you wanted to be in the Bad Boys Club. Karan, I gotta talk to Karan and see what's going on. They'll do a Bad Boys Mississippi or something.
Wait,
I'm not doing that.
Bad Boys Club?
Bad Boys, humpback eyes.
Absolutely not. Because I can only imagine
I would not do that now.
They would gather for a Bad Boys Mississippi.
Oh, Lord. It's me, Scotty. Yeah.
I won't be
Well,
doing that.
let's just say I got approached to be on the Come Up New York. But like no, but Karan literally made a joke because he now sees my reviews and he thought that I was had personality or whatever. But I'm trying to get my friend on.
Okay.
Because he actually does music. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd be a great
I was like, I'm not ready for
addition to the
no.
New York cast. Cause I love Ron them, but they knew there was some shit going on. It was one person. I'm not trying to turn
Listen,
the
Karan
topic
is
of the
doing a
theme because I'll
whole
say the
fucking
motherfucking name. I'm
cleanup.
sorry. Go ahead.
They're doing a
Who?
whole
Mitch?
cleanup. I'm so glad he's doing a whole cleanup.
You said who now?
You said
Karan is
Mitch?
doing a whole
That's what you
cleanup
talking
of New
about?
York.
Doing a whole cleanup on New York. You said Mitch?
Yeah, he's doing a whole cleanup. He's getting rid of all them hoes.
That's what I heard. Now, I'm sorry, we didn't change the whole damn topic for the shit. I'm sorry.
That tends to happen. It's okay.
Mm-mm. But
But I mean, I would say this though. People like people as far as me and Jamar is concerned, people always even though in the past people were saying that we were not friends anymore. I don't know why they were saying it. But yeah, people were saying it. I guess because I didn't mention his name in a couple of videos I did. I guess I have to mention Jamar in every goddamn video I do. But however, people be saying like ever since we've been doing this stuff right here, they was like, oh, we can tell that y'all friendship is so genuine. It's not fake. It's not this. It's not that. We can see whatever. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. I really don't like Jamar like that at all because
Woo!
I
Same,
mean,
bitch.
he thinks
Girl, the
that he is right about everything, even though he kind of is. But I
have I
don't
been
want to
wrong
give
yet?
him
He had to put a
this.
kinda on that.
But
You just realize he had to put a
let me
Scotty,
not.
kinda.
Scotty, I'm gonna tell you from personal experience. Just listen. Just
What
listen.
you mean personal experience?
My spiritual teacher was hold my life worse than probably Jamar does yours. This nigga cuss me out everything. Just listen sometimes, because
But Jamar
sometimes people on
doesn't
the
do
outside
this.
looking in can see things that we don't see. So unless you can do what you want to do. The only thing, if you're gonna do what you're gonna do, is just be accountable. Whatever happens, just say it's on me. It's my fault. I
Let me
can't
tell you
blame
about
nobody. I
Jamar.
can't say it's nobody else's name. It's
Jamar
my
do.
fault.
No, Jamar do shit like this, bitch. I told you. I told you. Was I wrong? Was I wrong? Okay, I wasn't wrong. Okay.
Girl,
My
and
spiritual teacher would have said
I
some
can't
whole
stand
more
those type of people.
horrible
Like,
shit than
oh, I
that.
was
what
right.
was I?
Shut the fuck
No, look.
up.
No, look. I'll say this. My approach is I will tell you, I'll give you my opinion. You do what you want, but, and I don't force it. I don't, I don't try to make you feel bad, but I'm just like, look,
It's fact. You can't get mad at truth. Truth is.
I told you so. And I want you to know that when I say something, I'm not talking out my ass. I could be wrong. Because like when you're giving outside looking in, there's a whole side of the situation that you don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, based off of me living on this planet, as long as I feel like I can at least recognize some things. Because when we in it, we be having them rose-colored glasses on, and don't be wanting to see shit for what it is.
Yeah.
We think it, but it takes somebody else looking on the outside to be like, I
Yeah.
see that shit too.
Yeah, that's true. And it's just like with anything, you need counsel. That's nice to have people to give a alternative viewpoint of it. And even in like the relationship I had with my spiritual teacher, there were some times where I would sit here and interpret what he was saying to be something wrong. And that was on me, when in actuality, he was just giving me a different perspective. But a lot of times we want to just really get what we want, and we don't give a fuck about what other people think. Even though sometimes people that's good for us can see the shit and they saying it to help us and not to hurt us. I'm pretty sure they don't want to always be the bearer of bad news and always say, well, no, you need to let this one go. Hell no, of course they want to be like, yes, bitch, I want you. Please find somebody that's going to get with you and do the shit.
I think it took for Jamar to see me trying to fight a security guard for him to understand that I that I arrived for him.
You said that you
Girl,
what?
I'm like, don't
Like a security guard.
Girl.
It was
Can we
about
get that
Jamar.
story? Can we get that story?
Girl.
Let's get that story, please.
I'm so embarrassed.
Girl. Somebody was doing way too much.
And it wasn't me.
And
I would love that story time.
But
Tell the
long story short, we were at a K Michelle concert, right?
Yes,
When he came to
concert.
when we came to visit Houston. There's a side B to that story about the other people that we saw there, but it's not about them.
We'll talk about that backstage.
It's not about them. The part about that we're talking about is the fact that because I was the only one, I think, of the group who didn't have like a meet and greet lanyard or whatever. And we were in this, this large venue. And the guy was like, if you're not here as a part of like the meet and greet, you have to like go all the way like outside and wait, in this hot ass weather in the dark at night and all the shit. And I'm just like, I wanted to just wait like by the door. I was still in the venue, but everybody has to come out this door anyway if they want to leave. So I'm just gonna wait here in like the little foyer area. And the security guard was like, no, you have to actually leave out the building. You have to go outside, down the stairs, all this other shit. And I'm just like, K Michelle is way back there, like way in the back, behind curtains, all these other sorts of doors and security and shit. And I can't wait right here, right outside the door, just so I don't have to be outside in the muggy heat and shit. That was the part that I was upset about. And Scotty was over here about to lose his mind. Turning the security guard like, no, he don't have to leave. Like, what sense does it make for him to leave? I'm just like, girl, if this continues, neither one of us are going to see K Michelle. And you actually paid the money and I didn't. So you go see K Michelle. At the moment, I'll be waiting for y'all outside, scrolling through Instagram.
That whole day was fucked up, to be honest. I think I had a lot of pent up pressure from earlier that day because I didn't have no more money either. Because that whole day was fucked up. And Jamar knows what I'm talking about. Earlier that day, I put my phone on the charger and it wouldn't charge. So I decided to turn my phone off and turn it back on. But when I turned it off, it never came back on. So I'm pacing around my hotel room and Jamar comes and I'm like, bitch, I'm so mad. Jamar don't know why I'm mad. And I'm like, because my phone won't work. So
On the day.
Like, the day of the concert, my phone stopped working. So I'm like, he's like, well, we're gonna have to go. I said, is there AT&T store anywhere? Apple store anywhere? He said, yeah, we're going to go to the Galleria. This was hours before the concert, and I'm mad. I had to get another phone. I only had like maybe $200 or some left on me, and I spent all my money on that phone. I couldn't even feed myself.
How much of your money you spent again?
All of it.
I want you to say it the same way again.
Oh,
you done fucked the joke.
All of it. All of my money. All of it. My friend Montavious had to pay like maybe an extra 30 for it, but other than that was it. So it was kind of like, I don't have no more money. How am I eat? Both of them, Jamar and Montavious, like, well, we got you. Don't worry about no drinks. Don't worry about eating. We got you. I'm like, I feel like such a damn. I'm like, oh my God. And Jamar was like, at least it happened hours before the concert. And I'm like, I don't give a damn about that. I ain't got no fucking money. That's all I kept saying. And we leave in the mall. Cussed out some white woman. I think she was.
I don't even know why you cussed
out. Lord, you done cussed out a Karen.
I don't even know why you cussed her out.
Because she was looking at me crazy.
Damn.
And I believe it's because of that shirt that I had on. I think it's because of that shirt I had on, because I had on a shirt that said "Nobody for President," and everybody kept looking at me because that was that same year that Trump got into office, but Trump hadn't gotten into office yet. But it was time to vote later on that year, and I had on a shirt that said "Nobody for President," and everybody was looking at me crazy walking through the mall with that shirt on. And I'm like, Jamar laughing at me because I'm like, what the fuck is this bitch looking at? I was
Oh,
already upset because I had to spend all my money on that fucking phone. So that's where that came from. I'm like, what the fuck
Damn.
is this bitch looking at? Why the fuck is she looking at me?
now, girl, mind you, we
Jamar was
sitting
like,
down all pizzeria. We trying to eat this food. This bitch over here giving her the nastiest, dirty looks over the side. I'm like, girl, she gonna sit over here and have us taken out of here by security, child.
You looking at her with
I'm
all the
like,
anger of the motherfucking slaves.
just let me shut the fuck up. Just let me shut up.
Ooh,
Shut
that
up.
story is everything. Ooh.
Oh, the one that we gonna tell you when we get off of here, when we get back to stage, is really gonna be. Listen.
And you know what? It's about that time.
Yeah, we been
Yeah,
here
it
for
is
2
about that time.
hours.
Actually, it's almost. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna end this because we got to talk big stage. Anyway, I want to thank Brandon and the lovable asshole for coming on tonight. I really appreciate it. Honestly, I did not see the lovable assholes comment under my post at first until last night, and that's how he came on this time. So it was only supposed to be Brandon, but then when I saw his comment, I'm like, okay, I let him come on too because I didn't see it until last night. So I appreciate, we both appreciate you guys coming on here. I'm pretty sure that when the podcast comes, we will invite you guys back
Oh, I will be
for the
happy to.
actual
I'll be
podcast.
more than happy to come.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And we we had a conversation about whether we're gonna still do these after the podcast comes out or not. I think we will. It won't be as like
Yeah,
weekly like it is right
uh,
now, but
which far less frequent.
yeah, it won't be as frequently as it is right now. But we'll still do them. We might do them like panel form. Like it may
Gotcha.
not be just us two all the time. We might invite you guys back or whoever else because we're gonna do another OG panel too. So be on
Awesome,
the lookout for
awesome,
that too.
awesome.
We're doing another
Okay,
one
if y'all do
like
another OG panel, I have to be on because if you get Brian B,
that.
you have to follow Brian B on Twitter. You have to get him. I fucking live. First of all, stranger bitch, stranger bitch.
Um, shut
That's
up.
enough.
You stranger.
You fucking
We
Who
haven't
stranger.
even
said
figured out who we're gonna have on yet.
my
We haven't
bangs,
even figured it out yet.
bitch?
My
I.
bangs
Yeah, my brain. This
bitch.
is a classic. That's a classic. That's a classic right there.
Coochie
I said I wouldn't mind getting Brian B, and I told Scotty before that I wanted to get Quadir or Tamaya. That's who I was watching.
Oh yeah, quite a year. Yeah,
Quad
that was.
If
deer.
we're able
I,
to
you
get
know
the, if
what's
we're
so
able to get
crazy?
Quadir on here, oh my god.
I'll be like,
Yes.
oh shit.
You know what? In the beginning, I didn't watch his videos. I didn't even know who Quadir was until I actually went to his channel and I started watching it, and I'm like, oh, okay, you're funny. I like you. Okay.
He's hilarious.
Very
Okay,
much so. Very
like
much so.
for
Yeah.
real.
Mhm.
I know Messy Miles is one person we're gonna have on the next one too. That's another
Awesome, yeah, because I
one.
like him too. Yeah.
I love Messy Mouse. Oh my
Yeah, he's gonna
gosh.
be on the next
He's so
one.
country. I love it.
He's from the same
He's
place I'm
so
from. He's like
Oh.
20 minutes away from me. So
Oh, okay. That'll be dope. That'd be really
yeah,
nice.
so we already know that he's the first person we're gonna ask, and we know he's gonna do it. So we're not even worried about him saying no.
Right.
But it's gonna be another OG panel. I know some people were saying, well, I was expecting to see Kingsley on the panel. I did because he don't know us.
Kingsley's audience is Caucasian.
Yes, he's not gonna do this. No, he's
hmm
not doing this.
Who else
No,
I used to
I don't
watch?
see
Who else
you.
I used to watch?
But I did watch him though back in the gap. I did, but I
Back in
don't
the
think
day.
he'll do this. I don't think
Back
he'll do
in
it
the
though.
day.
Ain't that? Oh, I was about to say
But it's
something.
all
Never mind.
good.
I was gonna say something.
How about
But it's a lot
Africano
of
Boy?
people.
You remember Africano Boy?
Yeah,
Hmm. I don't know if
He
he
was
still do
everything.
videos. Do he still do videos?
He still does. He does a
He don't do
podcast.
videos anymore.
Oh,
yeah, he does more.
I
Yeah.
want your boy Nunu here on here too for the next one as
You said
well.
Nunu?
Yeah, Nunu.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Because he was in the comment section on the last one that we did. So, that's
Yeah.
I always
Jamar's
wanted to sit
friend.
on his
So yeah.
face. Every time I looked at his videos, I just want to sit on his face. Something about that face looks sittable.
You're not the only
Oh Lord,
Nope. Uh,
this is the prelude after dark. The prelude after
one. You
dark.
know we were talking about doing that.
The prelude. Come on. Is
We were
it
talking about
backside? Is it astroglide? What is it? Is it
you
silicone? Is it
so
water latex? What is it?
so yeah, we're about to go. I really appreciate this conversation. It was very this was a very thought provoking conversation. I felt like I knew that Brandon was the one person that I knew that I wanted to come on here. But I'm also glad that the lovable asshole came on here because
Yes.
it was a great
Yes, it
conversation. I
was.
really
Yes, it
appreciated
was.
it.
Oh,
Great
thank
conversation
you.
for both me
I
and
wanted
Jamar,
to. I
for
looked
both people.
when you had it. I was like loving relationship. I was like, I'm in a relationship, but I'm only like like freshman class relationship. It's very new. But I was like, okay, I could put in because first of all I love to talk. So come on.
Hmm.
So
But
I'm glad I'm on here.
cause we gotta get backstage so Jamar can tell this story because he been dying to tell the story. But we'll talk to you guys later, and we out till the next one. We'll talk to y'all later.
I
Peace
see
out.
y'all. See y'all.
Bye.